Roberts. Tiki Barber. It's Evan and Tiki on WFAN, The Fan, 1019 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
What's going on, everybody? How we all doing on this, I don't know, dreary whatever Thursday in New York City? It is Evan and Tiki with you, hanging out till 2 p.m. this afternoon. We got a lot to cover. Sean Morash hates America. We'll address that a little bit later on. He will give us his Cinco de Luncho. I got a grade from my Jets quarterback list yesterday, like a fair grade on how I did.
By whom?
By AI.
Oh, God.
Which I thought was the fairest way to grade it, considering Jet fans thought the list sucked. So we'll get to all that coming up. A little baseball, a little football, a little bit of everything on this February afternoon. The NBA returns tonight, thank God. The Nets will continue to try to tank. And the New York Knicks will get their final crack at the Detroit Pistons in the regular season. More on that game as this show goes on. But I think the Knicks are kind of simple as we enter the second half of this season. They got to get to the NBA Finals. Like, I think it's a consensus among Knicks fans that anything less than that, losing in the conference finals, losing in the semifinals, it would be considered a massive disappointment. And I think it's straightforward. Now, I can argue it and say they got to win a title. You can go even further than that, especially knowing Jalen Brunson wants the Knicks to scratch his back for the discount he gave them a couple of years ago. So I could totally buy the Knicks fan taking it a step further, saying, no, the finals aren't enough. The window won't be open forever. We have to win a championship. But I think that they are one of the most straightforward teams in this town in terms of what's a success?
Yeah.
And that is they got to go further than last year and get to the NBA Finals.
Right. It's the expectation that has been there, that they've been building towards, that Leon Rose has carefully and sometimes quietly, because he doesn't talk about this, made steps to make this team an NBA champion. And at some point, it's like, do your business or get off the pot.
Right.
And so every single year, you've progressed a step forward. Now you got to really get to the ultimate stage and then see what happens. Once you get there, you can't call it a success, because if you get there as Knick fans or as Knick team, you're going to expect to win.
Oh, absolutely. You'll be massively disappointed, and I'll do that same speech I do with myself and other teams where you never know if you're going to get back. Right. So I totally get that. I think what makes defining Knick's success easier than the other teams are about to get to is that they're on this straight line. You mentioned since the second year of the Tom Thibodeau, Leon Rose era, where they did miss the playoffs, there's been a line of success, right?
Right.
They get to the second round, then they get to the second round, but it's closer, then they get to the conference finals, and so now you look and say, it's the NBA Finals. Like, there's nowhere else to go besides that line. And while right now they may not feel as good as the Detroit Pistons, I don't think any of that matters come April, May, and June. They have to get to the NBA Finals, and that is not me speaking out of turn. When it comes to the Yankees, I think it's a little bit more complicated. I asked Sean about this last week as the Yankee fan, and I said, what's a success? And his answer was actually very similar to the answer he gave 2 years ago, which is they got to get to the World Series and win. Unless it's the Dodgers, then I'm okay with it.
Right. Yeah, no, you're not okay with it, but you're not going to be pissed off about it.
I'm accepting it, and this comes from despite everything I've said about all the teams in the Western Conference and the NBA, I view of the four major sports, the Dodgers to be the biggest behemoth cooking right now.
Yeah.
So I would be okay in bending the knee and understanding that was bound to happen.
And it's growing. It's a behemoth that's getting bigger.
Correct.
Well, but what's funny, though, about that is, and I really respect Max Fried for doing it, it was late last week when Max Fried showed up at Yankee camp. He made it very clear that we have to win a World Series.
Yeah.
Like, anything short of that is a failure. Here's what Max Fried said late last week when he reported to Yankee camp.
The end goal is to win a World Series, and if you don't do that, it's not a good year.
Here's why he's right, and I'm not saying this to make the bar unfair to you. I sat here 2 years ago. You sat here 2 years ago. We were all here 2 years ago when they lost to the L.A. Dodgers. And it was not enough.
No.
And I know, well, you look at game one, you look at game five. You lose the World Series as the Yankees, as a team that hasn't won one since '09, which I don't think is a long streak. But according to you people, it's like going through the Sahara Desert without water.
Yeah.
You're going to come away from it, whether it's the Dodgers, it doesn't matter who you lose to, as, hey, that's not enough. So I actually disagree with your assessment. I think the Yankees are the team where they got to win a World Series. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting here clogging the phone lines in November and December, bitching about what happened and probably saying, hey, Aaron Boone needs to go.
Yeah. But look, you go back to that one, and you don't want to dwell on it because were the Dodgers the better team? Maybe, but probably not. I mean, they were bullpenning that season, especially at the end of the season because they were so compromised pitching wise. But you knew the Yankees were also flawed because of the butchering in the field that you saw all season long. That Aaron Boone kept saying, "Oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine," and it is fine until you drop a pop fly in center field by one of your best outfielders. And so, like all of those little things make that season frustrating because you should have won. But you also understand it's the Dodgers.
Well, can I counter this with a last year question? If the Yankees were the Blue Jays, right, everything played out exactly the same.
Yeah.
You lose a heartbreaking 7-game series to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Would you feel like, not really a failure? We took them to the 7th game. They had a loaded rotation. They're the Dodgers.
Well, I think like if you're the Blue Jays, as frustrating as it is for you, it's similar to the Yankees because you lost to the Dodgers. You also have to give the golf clap to Yoshinobu Yamamoto because of what he did, and how he performed when it mattered. And so I feel like the Yankees lost the series. I feel like the Blue Jays just got beat.
Yeah, and you may be right about that, but I'm telling you that if the Yankees lose a World Series to the Dodgers, whether it's in 5 where they blew it, which is fair, or it's in 7 where it's I got to tip my hat, the Yankee fan will spend the offseason with that, we didn't get the job done.
No, you're right.
And I know that's unfair because it's very difficult to win a championship in baseball, but I think that as we sit here in February, it's easier to say, oh, no, we lose to the Dodgers, I'm good. No, you got to win a championship. I know the way you guys act. I know the way you guys feel. I understand that 2009 was a long time ago. Like, they got to win a championship. I think anything short of that, I think with the Knicks, it's the finals. I think with the Yankees, there needs to be a parade down the Canyon of Heroes. And if not, you'll find something to bitch about and blame it all on Aaron Boone.
Yeah, see, I think this is where the difference is. I think if the Yankees lose to the Dodgers, you're right, we will find ways to be, you can't make that decision, Aaron Boone, or Brian Cashman didn't do enough in the offseason. We knew the Dodgers were sitting there. The difference is I don't think people are going to be mad at the Yankee players. They're not going to be mad at Garrett Cole or Max Fried or Aaron Judge. The question becomes with the Knicks, we've seen this core knock on the door. You got your head coach out. You got a new head coach. If you now fail not to make the finals, don't you start to turn on the core of players as opposed to what the Yankee fan is doing, which is turning on the organization itself?
Yeah, but I think that you guys did turn on your players a little bit in 2024. I mean, there was heavy criticism of Aaron Judge dropping a fly ball. There was heavy criticism of Garrett Cole allowing miscues to cause a meltdown. Like, let's not act that it was just Aaron Boone. Like,
heavy criticism strong. We were annoyed at the way that inning unfolded, but the series was already 3-1. We were annoyed that Aaron Boone made that decision in game 1.
It didn't need to be. It could have been the other way, 3-1 Yankees.
But if you ask any Yankee fan, they were still mad about Boone going to Cortez in game 1 more than they were that the pop-up happened.
I get that. I think the point is, though, no matter how it ends, there will be a level of we failed.
Yeah.
And that's the point of where the Yankees are.
Yeah.
It's championship or bust. And it's an unfair statement. I acknowledge it as I say it because of all the little things that can cause you to not win. There have been many years in baseball before this Dodger back-to-back run where they would win 108 games and then get knocked out in the division series. Like, baseball sometimes makes no sense, especially when you get into a short series. But I just know the way you guys think. And I think if we're being fair in the middle of February about what's a successful season, I think for the Yankee fan, it's winning a world championship. For the Knicks, it's getting to the NBA Finals. For the Mets, it's a little complicated.
Yeah.
We are not there yet.
Well, you don't know yet.
I don't know yet what.
What to expect from this current team.
There's a difference between what to expect and what is a success. You know what I mean?
Well, playoffs, obviously, is bottom. It's the lowest. It's the floor.
The bare minimum.
Right.
Yes.
Is playoffs.
I think it's actually an elevated floor. It's not only bare minimum making the playoffs. This can't come down to 162 either. You can't be sitting there on the edge of your seat on that last weekend of the year. The Mets need to leave no doubt in making the playoffs.
Well, here's the problem with that statement. If you leave it to the last day of the year and then you win and then you go on a deep run, then it's all fine, like 2024.
No, you're okay. Yes, you're right. But my point is, like, you shouldn't be in a nail-biting situation with the Cincinnati Reds this year.
You shouldn't be. But in terms of defining Mets success, and I think this is the more complicated of the 3 teams we've hit on to begin this show. With the Knicks, I think it is clear as day. They got to get to the NBA Finals. With the Yankees, to me, it's clear it's a championship. But I think the only other argument would be the World Series. No one is calling up today saying, if we get to the ALCS, that's a good year.
No shot.
No one's saying that.
No.
So for the Knicks, it's the Finals. For the Yankees, it's either championship or losing a tough World Series to the Dodgers.
Right.
For the Mets, there's layers to this because you're right. The bare minimum is making the postseason. But I got to tell you, man, I experienced 2022 losing in that Fugazi first round to the San Diego Padres. I experienced 2016 losing in the wild card game to the San Francisco Giants. That ain't making the playoffs.
So it's division then. Divisional round.
My bare minimum
is divisional
is
round.
the divisional series.
I can see that but again,
that's the real playoffs.
no, you're right, Evan. But the problem is, what's this team going to look like? What's this Met team going to be?
Like, what are my expectations?
Just you don't know. It's so different and new than what you're. I mean, pitching or the staff is still the same, but different in some ways, obviously. But it's just. You don't know yet.
Well, here's what I know. They have enough talent to be a playoff team.
Of course they do.
So that's my bare minimum. Like, we can't be sitting here with the Mets missing the playoffs a second straight year. That can't happen.
Here's what I mean, though, because I think you might be underestimating them.
Okay.
So if the first month of the season they're playing 600 ball.
Oh, you mean like last year?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Doesn't that change?
Yeah.
Aren't you all of a sudden saying, holy crap, this team could win a World Series?
Can the bar be raised?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think the element of the Mets that complicates it for me is that I've seen them play in a World Series. I've seen them play in a World Series twice.
Yep.
I've seen them get to an LCS a bunch of times. The one thing I haven't seen as a fan is a world championship. So I'm always going to be disappointed if a season ends without a championship, but I'm also trying to be realistic and fair with expectations.
Right.
This is also a franchise that hasn't seen the playoffs in back-to-back years since 15 and 16, and they've only accomplished that twice in the franchise's history. So I'm trying to be reasonable with it, and I think in an attempt to be reasonable, to me, it's the real postseason. And that's the division series.
Right.
Will I be disappointed if they lose in 4 or 5 to whoever they play? Of course I will. And I'll give the same speech I gave 2 years ago. You never know when you're going to get back, which turns out to be true. But I think anything short of that, and this is my point, anything short of the real playoffs, which is the division series, I will tell you with a straight face, that was a disappointment.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I got to fire everybody. I'm just telling you, I will feel as a Met fan, this was a massively disappointing year if we're not further than a division series.
I think it'll be even more disappointing because of so many of the pieces this year, from Peralta to Bo Bichette, could be gone.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
It's like a one-shot chance at it.
I don't think it's a one-shot chance at it because I know that this team will spend for other players of that nature next year.
But who?
Well, I don't know, but I didn't think it would be Bo Bichette either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
So I'm not worried about windows closing. I think it's different with the Knicks. I think it's different because of the nature of the sport. It's different because of the salary cap structure. It's different because of the roster. It's different because of Jalen Brunson potentially wanting $480 million in a couple of years. I think windows close in the NBA. I don't think until baseball changes its format, which I am still skeptical will happen, even with a long lockout, I don't believe that happens. So I'm not worried that, boy, if the Mets don't win this year, they're going to go in the wilderness for 20 years.
Right.
I just know that right now, the real playoffs would be my bar. You want to get things
I agree with that.
Want to get things a little bit more difficult?
Go ahead.
A little bit more uncomfortable? I think we've clarified the Knicks pretty well. Of course, if you disagree, 888-808-1019. They have to get to the NBA Finals. For the Yankees, it's a world championship. For the Mets, it's at least getting to the division series. What about your football team? And I know we have a whole offseason, but I don't think the Giants are making household changes. Like, I don't think their roster is going to look 80% different than the previous year.
No.
You got your head coach.
Yeah.
You have a new coaching staff. You know Jackson Dart's your quarterback. The Giant one is a little complicated.
It is complicated because it's not full yet. What's going to happen, what the team's going to look like. At this point, you know, because it's obviously in spring training, what the Mets are going to look like after a interesting offseason. We don't know yet what the Giants are going to look like because free agency hasn't started yet. And you got to believe that even though they're cap strained, that they're going to go get some needed free agents for certain positions, whether that's depth at linebacker or a veteran wide receiver. Who were we talking about? Mike Evans yesterday. He's free. He wants to continue his career. Somebody like that. And then the draft. Like, what do they do in the draft? They have a top 5 pick, and so they're certainly going to add somebody with a high potential, and maybe even a couple of those if they draft well in the second and third rounds as well. I actually don't have a third-round pick, but you know what I mean, later on in the draft. So I can't tell you what the team fully is going to look like, But I can tell you that a winning season is the bare minimum.
I agree with that.
Winning season, bare minimum.
I agree.
And maybe if Jackson Dart is what we think he is, it could be playoffs.
Yeah, I think your assessment is spot on. I really do. And again, keep this in mind when we talk about what's a successful season and not. I know with the Knicks, you may look at Mike Brown and say, I'm firing him after 1 year. But I'm not saying that. Like, just because you don't meet the expectations means you're going to blow everything up.
Yeah.
Like, the Yankees losing the World Series, I'm not suggesting they're going to fire Aaron Boone. I think the one guy who may be on the firing line in this is Mendoza, where if they miss the playoffs, if they miss that bare minimum.
Because that'd be two in a row.
Yeah, I think that's and his contract status, like, I think that's completely different. So keep this in mind, especially when we talk about the Giants. No one's suggesting that after 1 year, how about John Harbaugh's a failure, get rid of him. It's more year one being a success versus a disappointment.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with you. I'm not going to say playoffs. I thought playoffs when they first hired him, but I'm also open-minded enough to know that there are certain seasons where 9 wins isn't good enough.
Right.
There have been seasons in the past where 10 wins is not good enough.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say it's playoffs. I do think you nailed it with winning season.
Yeah.
You win 9 games. I think as a Giant fan, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
The interesting thing, because when we talk about football, you immediately have to go to the division. And so you go back and look at, not go back, but you just go look at the division right now and where it is. The Philadelphia Eagles are clearly the class in the division the last couple of years, but are they the same? Like going into 2026, A.J. Brown could not be there potentially if he gets traded or disgruntled and he's gone for some shape or form. The offensive line has aged out a little bit. They have basically fired or moved on or changed their offensive line coach, who 2 years ago we thought was the best offensive line coach in football, and Jeff Stoutland. They have a new offensive coordinator who's 33 years old, and it feels like there's instability with the Eagles. So, yeah, they've been the class, but are they still going to stay the class now that they really have to coach their way into success? The Dallas Cowboys are a defenseless team. They have a really good offense, but their defense has been putrid the last couple of years. And then you look at the Commanders, who also have a 21-year-old or 31-year-old offensive coordinator and trying to do it again with Jaden Daniels coming off a rough season. So, the division actually looks accessible.
It looks more accessible today than it did a year ago, not just because you're better, but because of all the teams you described having more questions.
100%.
The Eagles aren't coming off a Super Bowl anymore.
No.
The Commanders aren't coming off of an NFC championship game anymore.
Right. What did they win, 5 games?
Yeah, they had a terrible season. And there's questions about Jaden Daniels' health.
Right.
And now Jaden Daniels is openly flirting with the city of Philadelphia, talking about how great the city is. I mean, what's he doing?
Exactly.
So I agree with you. And I think that changes things a little bit, which is why I'm with you about the Giants. Now, it's a little murkier because of the offseason that we still have to have play out. But I think for them, it's win 9 games. Is that fair, Mr. I Host 7 Giant podcast?
I'm not there yet with 9 wins. I'm not. Now, they could.
Where are you then? Are you sub 500?
I'm not sub 500, but I think this is.
You got to be past competence.
Yeah, no, past competence, no doubt about it. I just think that for everything Evan just said, I'm not ready to say that because I just think this team has so many glaring holes, and I got to see how they fill them before I declare 9 wins.
Right.
But I think
I caveated that. I prefaced that.
My answer to the Giants is more complicated. It's more, I'm giving them a 2-year arc. It's either this year or next year they need to be in the playoffs.
That's
and if
fair.
that means it's an 8-win season that's not a winning season, but they're more competent, you see them on the come, and then the payoff is next year, or they come out of the gates burning, they make the playoffs, but like there's a letdown the next year. The next 2 years they got to be in the playoffs, one of those 2 years.
Yeah. Well, I think it's, you said the in the hunt graphic, or maybe I said that last year about the Jets.
Yeah, and I told Harbaugh that when we were there.
That's right. We need to be, he liked that one.
Yes.
The in the hunt graphic. He's like, I may use that.
Give the New York Giants a big round of applause.
Oh, we will. If you win 9 games. If you win 9 games. The Jet thing, I can't touch. I'll tell you why. Their makeup of the offseason will dictate if this is a tanky season, if this is a real rebuild season, or, and I don't think the Jets are going to do this, but it is a possibility, they go spend aggressively, bring in a veteran quarterback, and build a team with the intentions of winning right now.
Right.
And that's where the expectation game for the Jets could completely change. But the way I view it, and you tell us if I'm wrong, and Tiki's wrong, 888-808-1019, is as we enter the second half of this basketball season, for the New York Knicks, It's finals or bust. For the New York Yankees entering a brand new baseball season, as always, it seems, it's championship or bust. The Met fan, I don't know. You guys may argue with this. The real postseason, which is the division series or bust. And with the Giants, a winning season or bust.
Yeah. That works for me.
That works for Tiki.
Yeah.
Does it work for the people? We'll get your calls coming up, 888-808-1019. Plus, why are sports fans getting so angry at what other people say about their team? We'll get to it coming up, including Sean hating the United States of America. 888-808-1019. And coming up a little bit later on, I advise everyone to make sure you're listening at 12 noon. We're going to be informative. Evan Drellick, who does an unbelievable job for The Athletic. He covers these labor disputes. He's all over it. He will join us at noon to really give us a primer on what the departure of Tony Clark means and what to expect in this upcoming battle between the owners and players. Evan Drellick, one of the best, will join us at 12 noon, and we'll do it all live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
And this portion of the program was sponsored by IHateMyEnergyBill.com. Are you sick of insane utility bills? Go to IHateMyEnergyBill.com to find out if your home qualifies for solar with zero out-of-pocket costs. See your bills dwindle with solar panels and get your free savings report today at IHateMyEnergyBill.com. And this portion of the program is also sponsored by Kalshi. Trade on anything. The MMA fight is Saturday, and you could trade on it nationwide on Kalshi. Hernandez is trading at 70% to beat Strickland. That means a $100 trade on Strickland pays out $333 with a win. Download the Kalshi app and use code FAN to get $10 when you trade $100. Kalshi, trade on anything.
It is gone! Put it in the box! We're getting ready for another season of Yankees and Mets baseball on WFAN.
Going on deep drive right field, hit hard, and is screaming out of here.
We've got all the bases covered with breaking news, analysis, and good old-fashioned New York sports talk on The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
At Citizens, we help make sense of your money and all your money questions.
Do I keep renting or finally buy?
Do I plan for a vacation or plan for a renovation?
How big of a nest should my nest egg be?
If money talks, what's it say to me?
Is cash still king?
Wait, when did a dollar slice go up to $3?
Whatever money questions you have, Citizens has the answers. Make sense of your money at citizensbank.com/made-ready. Member FDIC.
See what sets Mazda apart in the Mazda CX-5. The smart choice for those who expect more from their drive. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety features, the CX-5 gives you confidence in every condition. Its effortless handling and responsive performance set it apart from the crowd. Inside, you'll find thoughtful, crafted design for comfort and connection. There's more to a Mazda. Lease the 2025 Mazda CX-5 for $209 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Hey, did you know Verizon Home Internet covers more homes with faster speeds across the country than any other provider? Now you can get award-winning Fios Internet for just $20 a month for 3 years. Switch today and enjoy savings you can count on. Verizon Home Internet consists of Fios and 5G Home. Availability varies. Comparison based on FCC BDS data of home internet providers with download speeds over 50 megabytes per second, June 2025. Limited time offer for eligible new customers. Fios $20 per month plan with auto pay, mobile phone plan, mobile plus home, and bonus discount. Enrollment required. 3-year price guarantee. Applies only to the then current base monthly rate for Fios. Additional terms may apply.
With Grubhub, there's no fees on restaurant orders over $50. You eat the food, Grubhub will eat the fees.
Wait, Grubhub is going to eat the fees?
Wait, like the receipts? It's a metaphor. No delivery fees, no service fees. Only on Grubhub.
Grubhub will eat the fees.
Details at Grubhub.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
That sound? Yeah, that's not a good sign. Hey, it's Drew Brees. And when your car starts making noises like that, a big repair bill might be coming right at you. But with CarShield, you don't have to fear unexpected breakdowns. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. I spent my career making tough calls, but this one is simple.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
At quarterback, calling the right play could change the whole game. And when your car breaks down, same idea. Make the right call before the big repair bill hits. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. Plans include 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, and rental car options, all to keep your drive alive. Look, breakdowns happen, but choosing CarShield, that's the easiest call you'll make all day.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Get your calls in a minute. Evan and Tiki here on The Fan talking about team success, what makes a season a successful season. I think it's very straightforward with teams like the Knicks and the Yankees. It's a little bit more complicated with the Mets and the Giants. And a quick thing about the Mets that is sort of bothering me and confusing me.
Mm-hmm.
I am a diehard Met fan, right? You
Of
know
course
that?
you are.
Okay. I want to be positive. I don't think I'm necessarily a positive fan or a negative fan. I try to call it like it is. But I've noticed something over the last 12 hours that I need to address. Steve Phillips, the former general manager of the New York Mets, has been critical of the Mets offseason. Okay? He has been. In fact, if you haven't heard or
I
maybe
have
you,
not.
Oh, I have a clip.
Oh, please.
Here's just a quick sample of Steve Phillips with fair criticisms of the New York Mets offseason.
Art Jason Stark had interviewed 36 executives, and 32 of them thought the Mets were one of the most improved teams. I put them on my least improved list. I think they lost a lot in Pete Alonso. The Mets are one of the most confusing teams for me, yet David Stearns is often the smartest guy in every room that he's in, and I don't want to doubt them in him, but I don't look at them the same way as everybody else does right now.
Okay. He doesn't believe in
that. Sounds like he has a hard one for David Stearns.
Really? Because he said the smartest guy in the room thing?
Yeah. I mean, when you say that about someone, you're basically saying, I've had interactions with him, and you can't tell him anything.
Interesting.
He thinks he's the smartest guy no matter who he's talking to.
Now, what I would say to that is maybe you're right.
That sounds like something personal between him and David Stearns.
Very possible. What I find interesting is that line that Steve Phillips issued has been issued by a lot of Met fans. A lot of Met fans. I think I've said it at some point here on the radio. I certainly know Joe has said it many times on his Saturday program. And a lot of Met fans on social media over the course of this offseason has said the same damn thing. There are also a lot of Met fans who are not as optimistic as the 32 unnamed executives Jason Stark interviewed.
Yeah.
So Steve Phillips says this. He offers an opinion. And the crap that's being said about Steve right now is ridiculous. This is the same guy that traded for Mo Vaughn. This is the same buffoon that traded for Robbie Alomar. By the way, all fair criticisms, right?
Yeah.
Steve was not perfect. Steve was also the GM who helped the Mets get to the World Series. He's also the GM who traded for Mike Piazza. He's also the GM, the architect of a team that made the playoffs in back-to-back years, and not only made it in back-to-back years, was in at least the NLCS in back-to-back years. If you got a problem with someone being critical of the New York Mets, debate it on the merits. But to take shots at Steve Phillips because you're a whiny bitch.
You're a whiny bitch.
Thank you. Who doesn't like other people saying critical things. Dude, get over it. And watch this. I disagree with Steve Phillips.
Yeah.
I actually do. But why as Met fans, and it's the Met fan who does this, why are you sticking knives in him?
It's just his opinion.
It's his opinion.
And he could be right.
We'll see.
Exactly. But you will see.
And
and if he's right, then what are you going to say? Sorry, Steve? You going to say sorry?
No, we're going to call David Stern's the smartest guy in the room.
Exactly.
In a mocking fashion.
Exactly.
Like, why as fans do we get so sensitive when someone doesn't think we're great? I almost prefer Steve Phillips not thinking the Mets are good. I almost want executives to say the Mets aren't going to be good.
Doubt me and then see what.
Exactly, because these opinions, my opinion, your opinion, and we respect that you listen to it, it's just a freaking opinion.
And it means nothing.
So the turn on Steve Phillips is obnoxious. Like, I am so sick of going through. And again, I get it. Trading for Mo Vaughn was stupid. I'm totally with you. I am not debating the merits of Steve Phillips' bad moves. I'm lucky enough that Steve co-hosted a few shows with me, and he probably remembers. I lambasted him. We had fun with it, though. But he also was the GM of a team that got to back-to-back LCSs and a World Series. Put some, like, a tiny bit of respect on his name instead of crapping all over him because you're sensitive that someone's criticizing the Mets. We criticize the Mets. You, every single person who's tweeting angrily at Steve Phillips, you criticize the Mets because you're a Met fan.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
But Steve can't. Because
he's not allowed to.
Because he's not a Met fan.
Not allowed to.
That's why.
And because he's a GM who made some bad moves. You probably face the same crap.
Most GMs make bad moves.
Of course they do.
But they also make good moves.
Of course, and more than not, because they had one of the greatest runs in my lifetime. In fact, it was the greatest run in my lifetime. You probably went through the same crap. You're an analyst now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tiki just said something about the Giants. Like, you're not allowed to. He's allowed to.
I call it like I see it.
Eli's allowed to now.
Carl Banks calls it like he sees it.
We're allowed to do it. And like the response shouldn't be to criticize everything about their careers. Like, you know what, Carl Banks? How dare you rip the Giants? Remember that one mistake you made in 1988? It's like, what? So, Steve, if you're out there, I got my issues with you in terms of your time as GM, but understand, I also appreciate what you did.
Also, you're apologizing for the other Met fans.
I kind of am. Like, it's okay if he doesn't.
I don't think he minds.
I don't think he minds either, but it just bothers me because it's like we're such hypocrites.
Right.
We're allowed to rip the team, but dare the former GM rip the team.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my God, let's talk about the Mo Vaughn trade. What? What does that have to do with anything? And again, not defending the Mo Vaughn trade. Do you remember who they traded for Mo Vaughn, Sean? A little baseball trivia.
They traded for Mo Vaughn. It was to the Angels, right?
It was to the Angels, and it was a free agent signing from a year earlier.
A pitcher.
Look at you.
Kevin Appier?
You nailed it, bro.
Wow.
That's a good job out of you.
Oof, all right.
That's a good job out of you. That's
what
right.
What year was that?
So they signed Ape for 2001, and then I think they acquired Vaughn in 2002.
Yeah, Appier was supposed to replace Hampton.
Correct. Yeah.
That's solid, Sean.
Totally, man.
I mean, you're sweating back there, but that was a good one.
Because I had to remember the connecting of the dots with that, yes.
But also, like, there was no pressure. Like, if you got it wrong, do you think we were gonna question, like, your manhood or sports fandom?
Be a man.
No, but I pride myself in being as close to as nerdy as you on this station in terms of my, like, sports fandom and growing up and that sponge stuff when you grow up.
There you go. One big difference between Sean and I, which we'll express coming up in about a half hour, is that I love America and he hates it. So we'll get to that a little bit later on. I'm making it very tough for Sean to bite his tongue, but he's biting all right.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Serious.
We'll get there.
What the hell?
You'll have your time to respond.
Okay.
But for now, Sean hates America. 888-808-1019 is the number. Let's go to Alex in Totowa, New Jersey. Good morning to you, Alex.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Doing well.
Good. What's up, man?
Real quick, Ev, I want to talk about the Mets because I'm a confused Met fan. So I like Acuna. I like the Nimmo trade because in my head, Acuna is the perfect guy to sit on the bench for 2 years, learn under Simeon. He's a perfect bench player. Could play defense, speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just confused with Beatty, Vientos, Mauricio. We signed Bichette. We signed Polanco. At least with Beatty and Vientos, these guys have been on the team for, 2 to 3 years now? What's the plan with them? Are they just going to rotate at DH?
I
feel like they passed their point as, highly touted prospects that you can trade. They kind of showed you what they have, like some flashes and whatnot. But it's just if I were the Mets, I would have put Beatty at third base this year. I would have put Vientos at first base this year. And I said, show me what you got. And if you don't have it, that's it.
But if you do,
it's been a few years now. What is the plan with these guys?
Well, I'll tell you the plan. But first of all, I disagree with your plan because your plan would have made it more difficult to compete in 2026 if you're not adding Bo Bichette.
Right.
If you're not adding the professional hitting of Jorge Polanco. I think the plan right now with Vientos and Beatty is that they're going to get at-bats, and they'll get more at-bats if they hit. In terms of where they're going to play, I think Brett Beatty will get an opportunity to play right field. I think he'll get an opportunity to play first base, an opportunity to DH. And Vientos will get a chance to DH. And I think if they hit, they'll play. And if they don't hit, they're going to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, and Brett Beatty's unfortunately has a setback because he doesn't know right field, even though he's a good enough athlete to just maybe throw it out there, Jeff McNeil style. But he's got the hamstring injury.
Right.
So he's limited to just working at first base right now.
Right.
And so I don't think he's winning the right field job.
No, and I think Carson Bench is being given almost the preference to win the right field job, assuming he earns it. But even if he does, I think between first base and DH, there will be enough opportunities early for Beatty and Vientos, and then it's about performance.
Yeah.
And that's going to change the entire discussion.
Agreed.
So,
the fact that Beatty is now working at first exclusively, at least for this week, maybe even next week as well, it kind of tells you that Vientos is not going to be playing first base.
Yeah, I think he's going to DH.
Yeah.
I think the majority of Vientos' opportunities early are going to be at DH.
Right.
And then again, it's all about performing. This discussion's a hypothetical in February. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen to start the year, and then the performance will dictate it. And the other thing that could eventually happen, especially when our last caller asks what's the long-term plan, is that Bo Bichette essentially signed a one-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the track record of David Stearns, I don't think, even off a big year, they're going to give him an 8-year contract. So there's a really good chance Bo Bichette's only here for a year. If Beatty puts together another successful campaign, he could end up as the third baseman in 2027.
Yeah. No, because he did all right over there last year.
He certainly did. Let's go to Dave in Smithtown. Hey, Dave.
Hey, guys. First of all, I agree with you about the Steve Phillips stuff. I mean, Bill Mushnick criticized Mike and the Mad Dog for 30 years. It didn't affect their careers. But anyway, let me run through this quickly. Look, with the Jets, I just want respectability. The Knicks, if you run into a buzzsaw in OKC Thunder and lose in 6 games, okay, I'll get over it by July. But here's the thing with the Mets, and I think the Mets is more complicated than other teams.
Yep. Agreed.
Because here's why I feel that. I mean, listen, they're being optimistic, whether they win 85 games or 90 games, or bitching about losing, Diaz and whoever it is. The problem with the Mets is it's like with the Knicks and the Bulls in the 90s. You get to the playoffs every year, and you keep running to that save buzzsaw. Can we beat them? Maybe. But the optimism isn't high, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah, but you know what? That hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, who is that for the Mets?
Oh, it's the Dodgers, but it's only happened once.
No, yeah, you're right. But that's probably just the CS, right? The championship.
Well, it could be in any round. I mean, it
because
depends
that's when
on.
it happened. That's what I mean. It happened in the CS.
But it's also only happened once.
Right.
Like, it's not. If the Mets are living in a world,
I think he's projecting.
Well,
I think he's thinking about right now. If both are the Mets and the Dodgers are in the CS, who's winning?
Well, the Dodgers are going to be favored against everybody.
Right. Yeah. And so I think he's projecting. We lost to them 2 years ago, and now if we see them again, we're going to lose to them again.
Well, let's get to that point because that's actually a success for the Mets. Like, they haven't made the playoffs in back-to-back years in a decade. If we're living in a world, and maybe this happens, where the Mets are making the playoffs every year and they are running into the L.A. Dodgers and just losing to a better team, that's a far different discussion. And that's also a different place in Met history that we would get to if they're a playoff team every year. It's similar to the Yankees. And when the Yankees were running into the Astros and losing to them every year, you were banging your head against the wall, but at least the Yankees were getting there every year. The Mets haven't done that yet.
The Mets!
They have to find a way to be that team. Like your description of it's like the Knicks and the Bulls, we're a long ways away from getting there.
I agreed.
Like you got to be a playoff team.
The
every
Mets
year.
haven't been consistently good enough to be called the Knicks of that era.
No, not quite. And as I've said many times about this, because it's baseball, I will take my chances. Like the Dodgers, of course, they're loaded. Of course, to answer your question, they're going to be favored against any team they play, not just the Mets.
Right.
But if you play them enough times in a best of 5 and a best of 7, I think eventually you'll beat them. Call me crazy.
1 out of 7.
Well, well, they did beat them 2.
That's true.
In 2024.
That's true.
Let's go to Sam in Manhattan. What's up, Sam?
Hey, guys. How are you?
What's up, dude?
Good.
Just on the Jets and on the Yankees. With the Jets, Evan, I don't even know what to root for. I know that it's about feeling good about 27. So there's a scenario where 7 wins is worse than having 5 wins. And so I think it's the quality of the year and the direction we are heading into 27 far more so than it is the actual record.
Well, Sam, that's why we barely talked about the Jets. Because we don't know.
Agreed.
We don't know.
Right, well, what records me? The reality is the record's going to be bad anyhow.
Yeah, right.
So with the Yankees, I would position it a little differently than normal. I don't really believe that every year is World Series or bust, but I do think this year is. And it's apropos what's going on. There's going to be a strike next year, at least for part of the year, and there's a really good chance of that. And if the season is shortened, the playoffs get fluky, and if the season's canceled, it gets canceled. So you have an older Cole, you got an aging Judge, Stanton. So, you have a window where 26 might be your best chance for the next couple of years. So I hope when we get to later in the season, the team is good and they really go for it, because I do think World Series or bust is the way you should look at it.
You make a great point.
Yeah, especially the Judge thing.
Yeah. And Cole.
Yes. More so Judge, but you're right. Include Garrett Cole. Because, I think with pitchers, it was almost this expectation that it wasn't going to last forever. I think with Aaron Judge, he's going to be 34 years old in late April. So this is essentially his age 34 season. He is showing zero signs of becoming less of a Superman.
Yeah.
But logic tells you.
He had his best season, maybe ever, last year.
It was certainly right up there. I mean, he has had 3 all-time seasons. Not Hall of Fame seasons.
Yeah.
All-time, put it on the mountain of greatness kind of seasons. And logic tells you that's not going to happen forever. And Aaron Judge is very unique. I think the Yankees are very unique. And I've said this for a few years about them. And I guess Sean will take this as a major, major knock of Brian Cashman. So he'll probably enjoy this. There is no player more valuable to their team than Aaron Judge is to the Yankees, because the drop-off from Aaron Judge to the next best player is enormous. You don't have that in L.A.
Right.
You don't even have that with the Mets. You have that with the Yankees, and we saw it in 23 firsthand when Judge got hurt. They are different without him. They can't survive without him. And so logic then says, all right, well, what about when he's playing, but he's not as good and his superpowers start to diminish? What happens to the New York Yankees? Now, I can't speak on what Spencer Jones is going to be 2 years from now, or what George Lombard Jr. is going to be from now, or whatever other player they acquire. But in this moment, it feels like, wow, we really need to capitalize on the greatness of this player in the prime of his career. And at 34, that prime could go away at any moment.
No doubt about it. Which is why maybe developing guys like Jason Dominguez is a little more important than they make it seem like.
But also, to his point, it's why 2026 and winning a championship is really important.
No doubt.
Because even though it isn't the NBA, where the salary cap structure and the nature of the sport has your window be smaller, and the Yankees never really have a closed window, it does feel different in the Judge era because of his greatness. Because that greatness at some point, and I'm not going to tell you it's going to happen this year because I'm going to bet on Aaron Judge until proven otherwise. That's my new attitude towards him. Like, I am going to assume he's going to have a 9 more season. I'm just going to assume it. He's going to hit 45 to 55 home runs this season. I'm going to assume it.
He's earned that.
Yeah. I mean, look at the last 2 years.
He's earned it.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume he's great, but I totally get the point, especially if there's a work stoppage in 27, and dare I say we don't get a season.
Well, and remember, they do have somebody who now is proclaiming they will be the second 50-50 guy in Major League history behind Ohtani.
Who's that?
Jazz Chisholm Jr.
Jazz Chisholm said that?
Yes. Spoke about an hour ago that is aiming to be his goal. He said,
That's his goal?
You better be prepared because now there's going to be a second behind Ohtani.
I mean, there's a part of you that's got to respect that, right?
I do. I like it. The confidence is there. Yankees need guys with confidence.
He is a free agent at the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
No doubt.
Jazz is thinking to himself, dude, if I have a 50-50 season,
Chisholm!
I'm getting $250 million.
Yeah, Marcus Semion's about to age out. The Mets need a second baseman. Cohen will spend.
I think that's a great goal to have. I think what's very, very important is that you don't run in situations that become unnecessary. There was a moment last year. It was not a lot. But remember that one moment, I think I came on the air and said, did you see that Soto steal a third?
Yep.
And Keith Hernandez took a major shot at it. And I was like, I don't know if you guys noticed this because it was late in the game.
Piss poor hitting.
And Keith Hernandez was like, what are we doing here?
Is that really in the benefit of the team?
That's the one thing about when someone says, even Judge said it a few days ago, we played it on the air, he wants to steal more bases. That is great.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to do it in a non-selfish way.
You know what's funny? You're focused on the stolen base. I read that from Jazz, and I get more concerned about him swinging for the fences a little too much.
That's a fair point. Because you don't want to do that either.
Yeah, you mean trying to get 50
He swings
home
out of
runs.
his... Sometimes when he gets that home run feel, he swings out of his shoes a little bit.
And it's
Has
funny.
he been close to 50?
I'd have to look up what his
I
highest
think
total
over
was.
that 162 game sample size between trading for him midseason and then leading into the following season, I think his home run total was in the 30s. Last year he went 30. He had 31 home runs last year with 31 stolen bases. But if you take, I'd have to do the math on
How
this.
many games did he?
130.
He plays. I get
But
that.
that's not a full season, 130.
So if he plays 30 more games, he's not hitting 20 more home runs.
I think 50-50 feels like a reach. I think 40-40 feels more realistic.
Right.
I would agree.
I mean, last year was 31 home runs, 31 stolen bases, and 130 games.
And he loves that right field wall at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that'd be a great year. And if that happens, he's going to get a monster contract, which means he's not going to be on your team.
Chisholm!
Be in L.A. next year. That's what'll happen. Let's go to Neil in the Bronx. Hey, Neil.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Love the show. I love the standard and the bar you guys set for each New York team, except for one. We're talking about the New York Yankees. Get into the World Series, what they're supposed to be doing. Let's go win one now, okay? Let's just win one.
Yeah. No, I think
let's win one.
We kind of agree with that, Neil. But the only thing we're leaving
Sean
out.
doesn't agree with it. He says if we lose to the Dodgers.
It's the Dodger thing that's the difference, Neil.
Losing to anybody is not acceptable. They're supposed to win when they get there. I don't care if they even lose to the Dodgers. They're supposed to beat these guys.
Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah. And they could have beat him last time.
And I think the other reason why the Yankees are in this, you want to call it unfair bubble of championship or bust, is that unlike the Knicks, unlike the Mets, unlike the Giants, they're basically in the tournament every single season.
Yeah, true.
So for the Giants,
the Knicks have recently. They have been.
It's changed recently.
Yeah, recently.
But for the Yankees, it's been my entire life.
Right. And it's Judge's whole career.
Right.
And it hasn't been. I guess Brunson's whole career kind of has been that way with the Knicks, and so. The Knicks are getting to where the Yankees are.
Yeah, you're right. And I don't want to dismiss what they've done in the Jalen Brunson era because you're right. They've not only been in the playoffs every year, they've been winning a round every year Jalen Brunson's been here. Remember the first 2 years of Leon Rose, the first year was, I'm not going to count him taking over midseason. I'll go to the following season.
The Hawk year?
That was the Hawk year. That was 2021.
2021. Right. That's the year after the pandemic.
I like to call it the What You Gonna Do About It series where Clint Capella called them out.
Yeah.
And Julius Randle melted down and Trae Young had a party. The following year was a massive disappointment. They missed the playoffs. That was 22.
Hunter as well.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. 23 is the beginning of the Brunson era. Lose in the second round. 24, lose in the second round, but to quote Tommy, they lost to attrition.
Yeah.
And then 25, which was last year.
That was the uncrowned champion year.
That's right. That's right. And then last year was just losing to the Pacers in the conference finals. So it's runs every single season.
Yeah.
I think with the Yankees, it's also been our entire lifetime.
Yeah.
And they were in a World Series.
Yeah.
Like, they were just there. They were on the precipice. They were an out away from going up 1-0 on the Los Angeles Dodgers. They were right there.
We're aware. Thank you.
Well, that's my point.
But all the games were winnable. That's the challenge.
But that's the point. When you get there, and this is why I'm giving the caveat with the Dodgers, you saw it in that series, and you saw it last year with the Blue Jays. You better be perfect in all 9 innings, or you're not beating them.
I know. I hear what you're saying, but remember that season for the Dodgers. Forget it for the Yankees for a second. For the Dodgers, they were bullpenning their way through the playoffs, and they did so even in the World Series.
Yeah,
and the Yankees couldn't take advantage of it. This year, if the Dodgers pitching, if their rotation is right, are you kidding?
Right.
I mean, if Shohei Ohtani pitches the way that Shohei Ohtani thinks he's going to pitch, and everybody else thinks they're going to pitch, forget it. Right? Their rotation is ridiculous.
And
Blake Snell.
And who's their closer?
Yamamoto.
Diaz.
Yeah.
Diaz is their closer.
Yeah, they're better than everybody.
Roki Sasaki.
But that's my point. Even in a year, 2 years ago, where they could have been susceptible with the pitching, you still needed to be perfect. You can't make the mistake of going to Cortez. That's the thing with beating the Dodgers. It just takes perfection to do it.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of luck, too, because it is on the table that they're not healthy. There's been things that have affected them going into the postseason the last 2 years, and Tiki's pointed it out and give him a lot of credit for overcoming it. In 2024, they literally had no rotation. In 2025, they had no bullpen. Remember all the guys they added during the offseason?
Yep.
Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates. They were basically non-factors. They had to rely on Roki Sasaki getting big outs out of the bullpen. If there's ever a year in which they are lucky and they're healthy, they feel unbeatable. But it doesn't change the fact that when you're the Yankees and you've been there, you got to win a title. Right. And I almost feel bad saying it because I understand how tough it is. I get it, but I also know what the discourse around this radio station is going to be no matter how it happens if they lose a World Series.
I just find this interesting because I get accused of being like the Mr. Negative Yankee fan, and I feel like I'm the one being the most reasonable, and it's the callers go, no, you got to win, you got to win, you got to win.
Because I think in this case, you're out of touch with what most people are thinking, and I also think you're not being fair with what you're going to think come October. In February, when we're still a month plus away from games starting, and then, oh, by the way, there's a long regular season where even after every win, you're going to say, whatever, you better win in October.
It's a long-ass season.
You're not thinking about how you're actually going to think if you lose in a World Series.
Oh, I will be angry and upset, but I'm trying to be clear-headed and understand, though, I will understand why they lost.
Mark is calling from Brooklyn. Good afternoon, Mark.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
What's up, dude?
Totally agree that it's World Series or bust for the Yankees, and I think we live in a world where we're so afraid to be be called failures. No, it's all right. If the season's a failure, it's a failure. But at the end of the day, it is World Series or bust for the Yanks. Evan, my question for you. Well, a question before my question: how many years is this of the Steve Cohen era?
I would count it as the 2021 season being his first. So this is about to be year 6 of the Steve Cohen era.
All right, so we just got past year 5, year 6.
Yes.
If I had asked you, and I don't know there's obviously everything's circumstantial. Mm-hmm. If I had asked you on day 1 of the Steve Cohen era, that if I had told you rather that by year 6, the quote unquote realistic expectations of the Mets would be ALDS. Kind of a good season for the NLDS rather. Excuse me. The kind of a good season for the Mets would be NLDS or bust. Do you think you would have taken that 6 years ago?
No, I'd have been disappointed.
No,
so especially after what Cohen said.
Well, exactly, Tiki. Exactly, because I think Cohen has in large part set that bar. I totally agree with you, Tiki. So then I think it's interesting, what has contributed to that? Because I just found it shocking, as kind of an IFO in this scenario. I didn't know what you were going to say excuse me, I'm messing up my or whatever. I didn't know quite what you were going to say when you were asked what kind of the bar was for the Mets. I did think it would be a little better than DS, whatever DS. But I don't know. That's just interesting. What do you think if you had told me 6 years ago that the bar would be DS in the Cohen era?
Yeah,
Lindor being assigned at that point.
It's 6 years later. The bar is you're not wrong, Mark.
I'll answer this with 2 things can be true at the same time.
Yeah,
right?
You're kind of walking back what I think everybody thought it would be.
Yeah, no, I'll explain that in a second. I'm going to tell you 2 real truths that feel like the opposite. Number 1, the Steve Cohen era in terms of results has been a major disappointment.
Yeah.
I'm saying
and he even said so.
Yeah, he has said it. I'm not saying...
He just said it 2 days ago.
And it has nothing to do with him saying we need to win a title in 5 years. That meant nothing to me. Yeah. I had heard that from a previous owner when he said, I get married if we don't win NBA title. And then he sold the team and went back to Russia. Could be dead for all I know.
Yeah, he disappeared. So you can't find him anymore.
So I don't care what Steve Cohen said. I understand you bringing that up. I understand. Call it. To me, I'm just speaking for myself.
No, he's just using that for context. Yeah. Because when Steve Cohen first bought the team and he said that, Met fans got excited. And so what Mark was saying was, based on that, 6 years in, you're saying success is a DS?
Well, I would go further than that. I would say looking at the first 5 seasons and the results of them, they have been disappointing. If you would have told me going into Steve Cohen and his beautiful money taking over the Mets in late 2020, hey, in the next 5 seasons, you're going to make the playoffs twice, one of which it's barely going to exist because it's going to be quick, and the other one will be a miraculous NLCS run, I would tell you that's a major disappointment. And it has been. And Steve would admit that. His run here has been disappointing. With that said, he's doing a lot of what I was dreaming of. They're rebuilding the farm system they have. They're investing money into so many aspects of the team that we don't see that. I appreciate. He's also at a massively high payroll, and I appreciate all of that stuff. So it's not as if I was sold a bag of goods. I'm not claiming that. I think he's a good owner, an owner I trust. But the results, I don't know how anyone with a straight face could defend the results.
Yeah.
He wouldn't.
Especially with all that beautiful money.
Yes, the beautiful money's been spent. It hasn't worked. So I think those two things are true. And what I want from the Mets, and they're not there yet. I've heard Big Mac say this, and he says this sometimes as a douchey Yankee fan, but I'm going to answer it realistically as just an honest Met fan.
Suck it!
And I love Big Mac, but everything comes back to, well, do you know what they say about the Yankees? The Yankees better win a World Series. What about the Mets? Chris, when the Mets get to the point of consistent success, which they have not hit yet, I will be in the world of Yankee fans of, hey, they better win a World Series.
Yeah, the Mets are not the Yankees.
They're not there yet. I wish they were. I thought they would be, but they're not a playoff lock every year the way the Yankees are. So I get to some Yankee fans, it's unfair. You guys have a higher payroll. How are you saying on the radio getting to the DS is success, but for the Yankees it's win a World Series? Because you're more consistent than we are. And I hope for the day where we are you. That's why the Big Brother talk always annoyed me, because it was like, come on, guys, what are we doing here? I want to be you. What's that phrase? White blonde sister?
What?
What's that?
Is this a Tony Clark thing?
No,
I have no idea what you're referring to.
It's
White
the
blonde
movie
sister?
where you want to be like somebody. What is that again?
Like Mike?
No, I've used this before. Single white female.
Oh.
Single white female. I got it.
White blonde sister.
Again, Tony Clark?
No, you've never seen Single White Female?
No.
Yeah, where she like stalks her, and then it's a freaky movie.
Thank you. And I've used this reference before, yet I forgot it this time. I am single white female about the Yankees. Like, I want to be you. I want to be in a world in which we're coming on the radio and saying, boy, we better win a World Series or else it's a disappointment.
Welcome to hell!
But we're not there yet.
We love you, Evan.
Which part did I... What?
I'm single white female again.
Yeah.
I guess I got to see the movie now.
I'm single white femaling the New York Yankees.
There's got to be some other way to say that.
I want to be you. Is that a better way to say it? We'll get back to your calls. Plus, Sean will get to defend himself against being construed as anti-American. 888-808-1019.
This Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ, Precision Cooking, Effortless Results, ChefIQ.com. St. John's took down Marquette last night, 76-70 for the 12th straight win. They took over the Big East lead in the process after UConn fell. Bryce Hopkins had 23 points to lead the Red Storm. And Team USA's men's hockey team won in overtime over Sweden yesterday, despite a Mika Zibanejad goal for Sweden late. The U.S. and Canada are each one win away from facing each other in a potential gold medal game on Sunday morning.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. When do we start to wonder if anybody in charge in Kansas City really cares? New domestic violence allegations against Rashee Rice, coupled with the flirtatious rumors surrounding a possible reunion with Tyreek Hill and his own checkered domestic past, have me wondering if Clark Hunt, Brett Veach, Andy Reid really give a damn at all about the people they employ and their standing in the community. I'm Chris Mack.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
America, look around. Everywhere you go, prices are still high, rates have been whipsawing markets, and the debt and spending don't exactly scream stability. Experts say diversifying with intention is the #1 secret account that all American smart money uses to hedge against instability. Monetary Gold has been around since 2000, witnessing multiple economic setbacks. If you call now, Monetary Gold will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Start the day with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Looking for the best value on new tires? Get to Town Fair Tire. We honor every valid manufacturer's and competitor rebates and give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Got gold or silver just laying around? Estates Roadshow wants it, and they are paying top dollar. Monday through Sundays at TMT Cash for Gold locations on Route 9 South in Old Bridge or in Toms River, corner of Route 37 and Hooper Avenue. Visit tmtcashforgold.com.
Hey, construction workers, it's the season. We're talking about slip and fall season. Snow, ice, and poorly maintained construction sites can lead to dangerous situations. The Rothenberg Law Firm is there when serious injuries occur. The Rothenberg Law Firm has been fighting for injured workers for over 55 years, having won and collected billions of dollars for our clients. Let us help you. The Rothenberg Law Firm. Stay safe, New York.
Be a lawyer for injured ones. InjuryLawyer.com.
This President's Month at Nielsen Dodge, fun is in the driver's seat. We're celebrating all month with special presidential savings, plus 0 down payment.
We have your new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram at extra special fun is in the driver's seat savings.
Lease a new 2026 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4, just $187 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Laredo X 4x4, just $295 a month.
Plus, choose from a wide selection of certified pre-owned vehicles.
And if you need credit help, we're here to make it fast and easy on Route 10 in East Hanover, or shop online at nielsendodge.com.
Proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
President's Day Sales Event. Term 27 months to assign Compass 5782, Cherokee 5890 at tax tag 489 dock and DMV fees.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want to second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Baseball or football, WFAN runs the city. Yankees bats, Mets heat, Giants defense, Jets dreams. It's all here every day. The Fan, 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
It's been a rough couple of days for Sean Morash. First last night after he got spanked by me in an argument around the defense of Derek Jeter. And for some reason, he invoked the name Omar Vizquel. Not only did he have to take an embarrassing loss about sports to Evan on the air, but then from the top rope to comment on the debate and agree with me was Manny Ramirez.
Damn.
On the Instagram. So first, Sean, how'd you feel about not only me whipping that ass in a nice little sports argument, but then having maybe the greatest right-hand hitter of our generation and a guy who used to beat the crap out of your team, Manny Ramirez, coming in off the top rope saying, I'm Team Evan.
I thought that was really cool. Just the image of Manny Ramirez doing what we always do when we watch Instagram, sitting on the toilet and watching me argue, was certainly struck with me. And I would just tell Manny this. You thought his defense was so good. Why'd you leave for Boston? You know?
Come on. That's where you're going with
sounds
this?
like that. Sounds like a lot of Jeter hate to me from Manny.
He left for Boston, and this is very complicated, so I'll try to explain it to you, because they paid him a lot of money.
I understand.
Okay?
But I'm not taking money for playing with this great shortstop.
I just heard the GM of the Cleveland Guardians, same organization, actually Mark Chernoff's son, Mike Chernoff, say, we can't pay in the top end of free agency. We can't do it. That was his comment yesterday. So you invoking that, come on, what are we doing? Why did he leave? He didn't leave because the city sucked. He didn't leave because of Omar Vizquel. He left because the Red Sox offered him a ton more money.
I'll give Manny Ramirez this. He went in for more. He did the flame emojis and then went for a second comment. So he was really into the argument.
He was.
But that wasn't the only.
Did you feel defeated?
No. What are you kidding me? Anytime I'm in Manny Ramirez's head, that's a win.
I guess it as a win. Well, I was driving in this morning, and I listened to this conversation between Greg Giannotti and CeeLo involving Sean and how much he hates America or doesn't really hate America. Take a listen.
CeeLo, you're a guy who has been friends with Sean Morash for a very long time. He's part of your
group chat?
Yeah, part of the group chat.
Yes.
When you see him go back to the greatest hits of rooting for Rangers that play for other countries in the Olympics to piss off the USA hockey fans, what is your reaction? Because, I mean, that's really what he's doing. That's his Born to Run. You know, Born to Run to Bruce Springsteen is the Morash. I'm going to root for the Rangers on other countries as opposed to Team USA.
The problem is when you can see behind the curtain and you know the tricks, it doesn't have the same effect.
I have to say, before you defend yourself,
I'm a fat moron.
I don't think this is a trick or a magic act. I think Sean genuinely doesn't really like our country and doesn't really like the athletics of our country.
Why don't you leave then?
Yeah, I mean, February 20th, 2025. You know what he tweeted?
What did he say?
Go Canada.
Go Canada.
Yeah.
I bet them.
So I guess the first thing is,
I'm rooting for America. They allow me to gamble.
Gio is accusing you of this not really being an opinion and this being your greatest hit. I just think you hate American sports. Which one is it?
No, I don't hate American sports. I'm really confused as to where the bad take is. First and foremost, I don't know when I didn't root for America yesterday. I don't know when I'm not rooting for America to win gold, but I'm just being transparent about it. I still find the whole process of international play when it comes to our professional teams to be odd. I find it weird when I sit down yesterday and while I'm rooting for Vincent Trocheck and JT Miller on Team USA to root for Jack Hughes. Like I'm trained to root against them all year. And then yesterday when Mika Zibanejad does his
he's got the red, white, and blue on, Sean.
Okay, I'm going to get to that in a second. When Zibanejad scores yesterday to tie it, I'm not going to lie, my initial instinct was, that's a sick shot, Mika, way to go. Then when they lose the game and it's a Hughes brother scoring, I'm not upset that Team USA won the game. I wanted them to win the game, but then I see Mika devastated and I feel bad for him because I am trained year in and year out to root for my guys. Now, on Sunday, when the U.S. hopefully plays Canada for a gold medal game, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to be into it, I'm going to root for America, but I'm just being honest, and I don't think other people are being honest about this.
That's just odd to me, though.
Is it, though?
I can't. There's no Olympic sport that I'm a huge fan of. that a player that I like is a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. And this is why the World Cup is so much easier to root for Team USA because I don't have like a soccer.
Well, I mean,
allegiance to players.
so that would be the example I would give. So I'm a Liverpool fan.
Okay.
But Virgil van Dijk is Dutch. Mo Salah he's Egyptian. So it's like it's different for soccer. So I'm not rooting for Egypt.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not rooting for the Netherlands.
Yeah, I guess. And
so
again,
I root for Team USA.
But that's the thing. I am rooting for Team USA. I'm just not. I'm not rooting for Sweden, but I like that Zibanejad scored. I felt bad for him. I'm not rooting for America.
I got to be honest with you, and I love this country.
Yeah,
I think I'm pretty patriotic. I kind of see where you're coming from. Like you actually make a fair point, and I can't.
Hold on.
Yes,
hold on.
Yes, now I'm going to be ripped as head.
All right, so let's do the World Cup.
All right,
because it's easy. I'm a Liverpool fan. My goalie Alisson, he's Brazilian, so. If I see him playing, I'm like, all right, go Brazil. The reason I can do that is because the U.S. doesn't have a chance. I don't think they have a chance of winning the World Cup. The problem with what you're talking about, and you're talking about, Evan, now, Mr. Anti-American co-host.
All I said is I can see where he's coming from.
The United States is going to be in the final.
Yeah. Can I give you a
It's not like they're finishing fourth in the I don't know, the bronze medal game.
I have a checkmate comparison that will get everyone to at least understand Sean's perspective. You're not going to fully agree because I didn't even fully agree. I said, I get where you're coming from. I got to use the WBC, though, because baseball is the sport around here that more people care about. And it's not a knock on hockey. It's just I don't have those emotions you're talking about. I'm an Islander fan, but there's no one that I'm like, oh, my God, I can't root for that guy.
Right.
So let me give you a better example. It's the WBC finals. Okay. All right? And let's say it was 3 years ago. And Edwin Diaz is trying to close it out against Aaron Judge. If I'm a Met fan and it's Edwin Diaz, who is still on the Mets.
This is a good example.
Thank you. Edwin Diaz is facing Aaron Judge.
You want Aaron Judge to plant that thing 450 feet.
Do I?
Hell yeah, you
do.
do.
Do you think Tommy would?
No biggie.
Do you think most Met fans... Again, Diaz, let's just back to the world where he's a Met because I think the Devin Williams, I can't use him. It's not a good comp.
No, you don't have that love affair
And
yet.
the American pitchers right now are Mets. So it's... I'm trying to give a perfect comp.
What if Nolan McLean is facing Juan Soto in a big inning?
US. You have to.
Well, no.
That's the wrong comp.
No, his comp is easy. If Nolan McLean is facing Juan Soto to close out a victory for Team USA, I'm going to root for Nolan McLean.
Right. Yeah.
But if I am... And Aaron Judge doesn't elicit emotions the way, let's say, Roger Clemens did, but Roger Clemens played for Team USA. And if Roger Clemens was trying to close out a WBC championship and Jose Reyes was the batter, do you really think every Met fan, in defense of your argument, I'm actually defending you, do you think every Met fan would say, screw it? Come on, Roger. You hate Roger Clemens.
Yeah,
we love our country, but
don't
I don't
you
know
love
in
the
that
USA?
In that moment,
You got to love the USA.
Here's the thing about the loving of the USA and where I'm being called unpatriotic and all of this. I invest in the term of hockey or baseball in this case. Like my year-long equity is in my team and my players.
Okay.
I now come in for 2 weeks to root for Team USA for a bunch of guys I don't have emotional attachment to outside of two.
But you have an emotional attachment to your country.
Right, but I'm also not, this isn't like I'm rooting against them in war. It's ice hockey. You know, there is a difference.
Sports is war.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
But now I'm going to point out where I think everybody else
Stop
is being
marginalizing the sports that we play, you narp.
Okay, Tiki, but this is where I think I have the checkmate and where I actually think everybody else is not being truthful in this and where I'm being accused of, like, being the bad guy. Let's just play it forward with the U.S. and Canada win these games on Friday. We'll all root for them, and we'll sit down Sunday to watch the game, and we will root for America to win the game. In the end, if America loses to Canada, you are not going to bed on Sunday night losing a wink of sleep as a sports fan. Whereas if your favorite team lost the Stanley Cup or the NBA Finals, you have this or like when the Yankees lost to the Dodgers, I can't believe that. You're never in a World Baseball Classic when USA gets eliminated feeling the same way you would feel when the Yankees lost to the Dodgers or the Mets lost to the Royals. And this is my point to everybody going, how could you not root for them? I am rooting for them, but I'm also being honest in that I don't really care that much, and neither do you.
Yeah, but do you care that Mika Zibanejad didn't win a medal?
No, I don't, but I felt bad for him, which is all I was saying yesterday. My point is we care, but we also don't. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I think that most people probably have more passion for the team that they root for. But
that's what I'm saying.
Look, I'm going to root for Team USA whenever they're playing. The only area of a nugget that I'm giving you is, if we're being honest, and I think what everyone needs to do is come up with the athlete they don't like. Right? That's the real key to all of this. I'm not saying it's common because, like I mentioned, with the U.S. Olympic hockey team, I'm not sitting there with like negative emotions about guys who aren't on my team. It's like, whatever. But I think if it's someone you really dislike, and that's why Mets-Yankees is probably the best comp, and you're into the WBC, you have to admit that if there was a moment between a player you hate, and for most Met fans, they hate Roger Clemens, right? I think that's a fair comparison.
Right.
And he's facing, Mike Piazza's playing for Team Italy. There you go. Right. I think your natural emotion is, I want America to win, but not in this moment. You know what I mean? Not right here. In this moment, I want Piazza to take him deep. And I think that's I understand that.
Yeah, and
I get that one.
And there was a time in Olympic hockey, because I lived this, and I know that USA wasn't in the game. Henrik Lundqvist won a gold medal. We called him King Henrik after it. He won it for Sweden. We rooted for him as Ranger fans to win the gold medal, so much so that you go to any Madison Square Garden Ranger event, now you still see a million Sweden jerseys with Henrik Lundqvist on it. Why are you wearing those? Are you not pro-American? Like, USA didn't win that gold medal.
Well, who did Sweden or?
I think Sweden beat Canada. I think.
But they didn't beat the U.S.
They didn't beat the U.S., but
that's the point.
But the point is the U.S. fell short at some point.
Okay,
Lundqvist beat them in the tournament.
Yeah, but the point is, the U.S. were not in position to win. If the U.S. are in position to win, like they are this weekend potentially, as long as they get through the semis against Czech.
It's either Slovakia.
They are playing Slovakia tomorrow
right.
at 3. Canada's taking on Finland at 10:30 a.m.
Slovakia.
Yeah.
Slovakia.
Did that used to be Czechoslovakia?
Yes.
No.
Yes, it was. They
split.
split.
I thought they're Czechy now or whatever
Yes,
they're
they
called.
split.
Oh, gosh.
Split the country.
All right.
That's like India and Pakistan.
Yes. All right. So do you think he's anti-American?
They used to be one country, Sean.
Okay. I got it.
Do you think he's anti-American now, or do you kind of buy where he's coming from?
No, I don't buy it. I don't buy your. I don't buy your excuse either.
No, I didn't make an excuse. I'm explaining it.
The reason it's not acceptable is because the U.S. has a chance to win.
Okay. Again, I am explaining an area where there would be confliction.
But I also did not root for America. What is it getting lost in there?
No, but I'm moving on now to my point.
Okay.
You don't understand the confliction with
course I
players you
get it.
don't like?
How much of the Hughes brothers make plays? It makes me sick.
Why? They're American.
I don't like Jack Hughes and the Devils.
Right, it's tough
You
to
don't
separate.
like the Devils. If Jack Hughes was on your team, you would love him.
Exactly. This is exactly my point. Yes.
He's not. He doesn't have a Devils jersey on.
That's the problem. Now all of a sudden I got to root for this guy when a week later I'm not going to be rooting for him?
Yes.
It's tougher than you think. I know we don't have this in football, that they're going to try the flag football. If Jalen Hurts was the USA quarterback and Jackson Dart was quarterbacking for Sweden, you'd almost have this like, I don't really want to root against my guy. You have to see where that's coming from. It doesn't mean you're rooting against America. It means in that moment.
I'm glad I played the all-American sport.
Because you don't have this issue.
I don't have to even ever worry about this. There's nobody that I have to think about that's ever going to play for some other country. Yeah, not even, because the Samoans are Hawaiian.
But can't you see the confliction at all? You don't even see it? The baseball one, I think, is easier to understand. Like, we're in a 2-team town. Like, Met fans don't like Bryce Harper. Like, do you think a Met fan is going to be, it's easy, I got Bryce up?
Yes,
Bryce
because you're on the same team.
But what if he's facing a Met? What if he's facing, again, Edwin Diaz isn't here, but Edwin Diaz. Like, come on, man. You don't see that?
No.
And it's not saying I'm rooting for them. I'm saying there's a moment of confliction that I would understand when you're so wrapped up in always rooting for this player or rooting against that player. I understand it.
And I'll give you a furthermore, because it's pissed me off since the beginning of the tournament. The man responsible for putting together Team USA and taking all the bounds if they win a gold is Chris Drury, who I also think is the single man responsible for ruining the Rangers. So am I really that bad in America? I'm more of a Ranger fan where I'm like, this is ridiculous. Chris Drury shouldn't be celebrated thinking he's doing a good job here. He sucks.
Now, the one thing I will defend you on, especially after this discussion, is I disagree with Gio and CeeLo that this is a greatest hit album, that you don't believe it. I can look into your eyes. It does feel like you do strongly believe this. This isn't
I believe it.
I'm going to whip this out in February to get people riled up.
Listen to me, no doubt about it. I know I have takes that piss a lot of people off, and I'm not blind to that. I always say what I believe. But this is one of those, I'm actually confused that people don't understand where I'm coming from. I really am.
I do understand. Like, and truthfully, as someone that loves the WBC, I don't think I've really ever had many moments that I've described where I'm conflicted because I am rooting for Team USA. But I can understand if you scripted this moment between a player that you loathe and a player that's on your team where it wouldn't just be as cut and dry as, well, he's wearing the USA jersey, easy.
Right.
Like, I get it. It could be as simple as, I can see my dad saying this, I want Bryce to strike out, and whoever's on deck, he gets a bases-clearing triple. Mm-hmm. Like one of those, I'm going to selfishly root.
Yeah.
I want Team USA to win, but not you.
Yeah.
I don't want Bryce Harper becoming Mr. America. I understand that.
Right. Who's the manager?
Of who? Mark DeRosa.
DeRosa.
You know, I've told you this 3 times and
I know.
you keep forgetting.
I just can't ever remember.
That's how uninterested you are in it?
No, it's just I just don't remember. His name doesn't stick in my head for some reason.
All right. Let's get to some of your calls. There's a lot of confliction on this issue, so let's see what the people have to say. Carl is in Matawan. Hey, Carl.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What's up?
What's up, man?
All right, so I have a different take on the situation. I'm diehard USA hockey fan, diehard Ranger fan. And the last guy I wanted to see score a goal yesterday was Mika, because I don't want to be happy for him. He's not performing as a Ranger the way I want him to. And, you know, whether Miller and Trocheck do well, which they probably won't in this tournament, I'm still rooting for the USA. I'm actually rooting for the Kachuk brothers because I love the way they play the game.
There you go.
There you go.
That's how you do it.
What do you think of that, Sean?
Great. Root for the guy that tormented us 2 years ago.
And they were great in the Four Nations, too.
Let's go to Pete in Queens. What's up, Pete?
Hey, what's going on? Let me just say, and dare I say, are you kidding me?
That's fine.
That to compare the WBC to the Olympics is inherently flawed because I don't care about that, or I don't think anyone cares about the WBC. Well, at least most Americans don't care about the WBC, right?
That's true.
So in this case, like, I would love to, if let's say it was Luke Weaver versus Aaron Judge, of course, even though he's a new Met that I don't have like a history with, I would love to see him strike out Aaron Judge and whatever. Like, well, I guess that doesn't make any sense because they're both Americans. But you get the point, right?
No, I know the comp is tough right now. That's why I used Edwin Diaz, because I was like, where else do I go?
But you get the point, right?
Yes.
I would be rooting against the Yankee in that situation and hoping that a Met is the one that strikes him out. But even as like not a super duper patriotic person, I think when it comes to the Olympics, that's a different thing altogether.
All right,
where
so
you're rooting for.
Pete, I want to counter that with a question then. I don't even know what they're doing with baseball in the Olympics in a few years, but let's say the Major League Baseball and the Olympics say, we're going to do what the NHL does. We're going to shut the sport down for 2 weeks in the middle of the summer, and we're going to use major leaguers in the Olympics. So the exact scenario I'm describing happens under a different banner. It happens in the Olympics.
Wait,
how would you feel in a Met versus Yankee situation like I described that goes against your country?
Again, because of the history and the prestige that's associated with the Olympics, I would have to root for the American team. So I would actually root for Aaron Judge in that situation. Now, I will say this much.
Right. You're right.
If it was like, if the final came down to, I don't know, Japan versus whatever would
DR.
be the Korea,
Dominican
right?
Republic versus Japan, yes.
Yeah, in that case, I would be rooting for the Met player versus the Yankee player.
No, I think that part's easy, but I'm also going to call a little bit of BS on what you're saying because I could kind of hear in your answer the hesitation. You don't want to root for a Yankee. And so at first it was, I don't care about the WBC, fine, maybe you don't. I shifted to the Olympics, and now it's like, oh, God, it's the Olympics. But I can hear the hesitation in your voice, and that's my only point in defending Sean to a degree.
Yeah.
We can create a scenario where there would be some confliction despite you rooting for America.
I'm wondering, is the Olympics, baseball Olympics, going to kill the WBC?
No. Different time of year. It's only every 4 years. And I'm not even sure.
I mean, but here's the thing.
If they're using I don't think they're using major leaguers, or at least active superstar major leaguers.
Right. Hockey worked it into the CBA. I think that would have to be worked into the next baseball.
Well, I guess
it's
we have time to figure it out.
It's coming right now.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know. And
because I think what Pete was saying is that people don't necessarily, especially Americans, care about the WBC. Most of them don't even realize when it's coming on.
Right.
If you're a New Yorker, maybe because you pay attention to it so fervently, but most of America, middle of America, doesn't pay attention to the WBC. So, but if it was in the Olympics, you'll pay attention to the Olympics.
Yeah,
you'll know baseball is an Olympic sport. So I wonder if it kills the WBC.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it would, only because of the timing of it. If you separate it enough, but the difference about the WBC, I know it starts in a few weeks, and we'll see. I think the interest grows every time they do it. I've seen it from the beginning. Like, it's certainly grown a hell of a lot more than 2006. And I think as it continues to be an event, more and more people will not feel the way our last caller feels. But I do think there's confliction. There just is. There's that emotion of being a diehard sports fan where there are certain players you like and you dislike. And for anyone who disagrees, the challenge I would give you is think of the player you hate the most in sports all time. Go back into your history. That's why I brought up Roger Clemens. If you're a football fan, try to make it a football thing. And ask yourself, even under the banner of the United States of America, if there's a specific moment where you're forced to root for that player that all time you can't stand the guy, and there's some kind of situation against a player that you love, is it really that easy? We'll get to more of your calls coming up at 888-808-1019. And I quite possibly had the weirdest dream I've ever had last night, and I need to share it with Tiki and the audience. It's Evan and Tiki here on The Fan, live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
And this portion of the program was sponsored by Ray Catena, Mercedes-Benz of Edison. It's also sponsored by Kalshi. Trade on anything. The MMA fight is Saturday, and you can trade on it nationwide on Kalshi. Hernandez is trading at 70% to beat Strickland. That means a $100 trade on Strickland pays out $333 with a win. Download the Kalshi app and use code FAN to get $10 when you trade $100. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Mercedes-Benz of Edison is more than a dealership. They're a luxury destination where exceptional vehicles meet exceptional people. It's why Cars.com named Mercedes-Benz of Edison the top Mercedes-Benz dealer in the U.S. for 2025. Discover yours at RayCatinaEdison.com.
This week on The Fan.
Keep listening for your chance to score a pair to see Dave Matthews Band at Northwell at Jones Beach Theater July 21st. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com.
Brought to you by Live Nation, The Fan 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, this is Tiki Barber. Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15
MSC Cruises
years old,
feel so stylish and European. Let's espresso and gelato.
Espresso and gelato? Those aren't verbs.
Yeah, on MSC Cruises they are.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm into the American stuff. Let's coffee and soft serve.
Sounds like a plan. Maybe later we can chaise lounge and espadrille?
I think you mean pool chair and flip-flop.
Get up to 40% off cruises, plus get up to $750 onboard credit and kids sail free. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Hey, this is Tiki Barber. Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency Carrier system. And there's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older heating systems waste gas. So get your system checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them now at EdisonHVAC.com. That's EdisonHVAC.com.
Hey Todd, how many portraits of presidents will it be to lease a sparkling new Jeep Grand Cherokee from Ramsey Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram?
John Montone. Everyone is given White House treatment during Ramsey's President's Day sales event, and that means amazing deals on all Jeep and Ram trucks.
Only $299 for 39 months for a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4.
Or $269 for 39 months to lease a new 2026 Jeep Wrangler 4-door Sport S 4x4.
I cannot tell a lie. With lease offers this good, I'm ready to start my own presidential motorcade.
The President's Day sales event, happening now at Ramsey Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, home of exceptional people, exceptional deals.
$29.95 down payment plus tax, title, registration, and fees. Call 833-853-2969 for details. VIN number S8749301. MSRP $47,325. VIN number TW224875. MSRP $49.90. $29.95 down payment plus tax, title, and registration. Zero security deposit expires 3/2/26.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or over cooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense at ChefIQ.com. That's ChefIQ.com.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News and World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Ready to ramp up the excitement, golf fans? BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets even better with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll take your stake back if they finish second. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds.
It's Dunkin's World and you're living in it, which means breakfast is easy and costs $5 with Dunkin's $5 meal deal. You get 6 crispy hash browns, a wake-up wrap, and a medium hot or iced coffee. Whatever your mood calls for. Bring your friend, your brother, your mother, your cousin, or just bring yourself. Because at Dunkin', they make deals for everyone. Get Dunkin's $5 meal deal only at Dunkin'. No substitutions. Participation in times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Hey, did you know Verizon Home Internet covers more homes with faster speeds across the country than any other provider? Now you can get award-winning Fios Internet for just $20 a month for 3 years. Switch today and enjoy savings you can count on. Verizon Home Internet consists of Fios and 5G Home. Availability varies. Comparison based on FCC BDS data of home internet providers with download speeds over 50 megabytes per second, June 2025. Limited time offer for eligible new customers. Fios $20 per month plan with auto pay, mobile phone plan, mobile plus home, and bonus discount. Enrollment required. 3-year price guarantee. Applies only to the then current base monthly rate for Fios. Additional terms may apply.
For 100 years, London Jewelers has been part of life's most meaningful moments. From engagements and anniversaries to milestones, big and small, they've helped mark the moments that matter most to their customers. Generations of families have trusted London Jewelers for exceptional craftsmanship, timeless design, and service that lasts a lifetime. As they celebrate a century of excellence, they thank you for being a part of their story, and they look forward to the moments still to come. They invite you to visit London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations. London Jewelers, celebrating 100 years of brilliance.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
This Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. The MLBPA has a new union president for now. Bruce Meyer has been unanimously elected as the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association. ESPN broke this story. Meyer, who was previously the number 2 at the union, becomes the 6th executive director in the union's history, of course, replacing Tony Clark.
How many can you name?
Donald Fear.
Okay, that's 1.
Tony Clark.
Tony Clark is 2.
I got nothing else.
Well, Meyer.
3. Good point.
And then Marvin Miller. I mean, you got to know.
Oh, of
Marvin
course.
Miller's
All
the
right,
god of this. And then there was a guy who ran it for 3 years and unfortunately passed away. Michael Weiner, I think. Was his name.
yeah.
So then I'd be missing one.
That's who Tony replaced.
That's who Tony replaced.
Right.
So I've got Marvin Miller, Donald Fear, Michael Weiner, Tony Clark, and then Bruce Meyer. That's 5. Who the hell am I missing?
Who was the first one?
Marvin Miller.
There wasn't anybody prior to Marvin Miller?
I thought
You
it was
sure about
Marvin
that?
Miller. I got to look it up. All right, thank you for that, Sean. I do have to tell you about the stream I had last night. I want to say it before I forget it.
Okay.
Because it is so freaking weird. So first of all, you weren't my radio partner. I don't want to make you sad.
All right.
You ready for who my radio partner was?
What was I doing? Was I a billionaire off somewhere?
You were not in the dream.
I was traveling in space.
Maybe. I feel bad saying you weren't in the dream, but
all good.
Trust me, no offense to the guy who was your partner. Nothing against him. I don't really know him very well, nor would I want to work with him. In fairness, that person is someone you know, though. And you know, though, my radio partner was Doug Gottlieb. Okay?
Gottlieb.
What? Yeah, but it's about to get weirder.
Is this because of the rant he went on?
Probably. I think dreams come from things that are going on around you.
Yeah.
And you'll see with all the different things in this stream, it's a bunch of different random thoughts.
Because did you pay attention to that, or did you just happen to see it?
I saw it.
Right.
No, I saw it. I was going to play it on the air, and I said, not really.
Yeah.
So I never did. So Doug Gottlieb was my radio partner, and Barack Obama was in the building.
What?
And Doug kept telling me, you got to go meet Obama because, A, you're obsessed with presidents. And then the other thing, which made no sense, was he's got back issues. You got to talk to Obama about your back issues.
Does he actually have back issues?
No!
Oh, okay.
Kennedy had back issues. So it's about to get weirder.
Oh, jeez.
So I go up to Obama. I shake his hand. I was like, look, first time I'm ever meeting a former president. I've met people before they become president, but not, current or former. Nice to meet you. I just got to tell you, I got a major back issue. Any advice you have?
Do you smell what Barack is cooking?
Are you ready for what happens next?
Go ahead.
He says Michelle has the back issues. Michelle then just pops up out of nowhere and says, I'm going to give you my phone number. I'm going to take you to your doctor's appointment.
Do you smell what Barack is cooking?
It's about to get weirder. So then I take her number. She's very nice. And then Barack says, you can hook up with her if you'd like.
Do you smell what Barack is cooking?
And that's how my dream ends.
Are you kidding me?
I was in some kind of weird thing.
Swingers club?
And I wasn't like trying to do that. I was going to go with her to the doctor's appointment because she seemed very nice. But yeah, and then he just gives me this like, you could hook up with her.
Hold on.
I was like, what the hell is happening?
That's where the dream ends?
That's how I woke up in a cold sweat, and then that was my day.
Right.
Woke up at like 5:30. I was like, all right,
That
time to
means
wake
you're
up.
secretly pining for Michelle Obama.
Stop. What?
That's how your dream ended?
Yeah.
You didn't, that was it? No
Nothing
finish?
happened.
You didn't further the bequest of President Obama.
I was actually alarmed by it and just woke up. Like it wasn't like I was interested. I was just more like, what? And then I woke up.
Yeah.
I was more freaked out that Obama was saying that. Barack was saying that to me. Like, what?
You had a chance in your dreams to sleep with a former first lady, and I don't care who it is. You take advantage. You don't wake up.
First of all, you don't get to choose sometimes when you wake up.
That's true.
But it was just...
I'm rushing myself back to sleep to try to get back in that zone.
It just, everything about it was so odd. Between Doug Gottlieb being my radio partner, to talking to a president, to him saying, no, talk to my wife, to she giving me her number to say, I'll take you to the doctor's appointment, and then finally for him saying, go to town. I was like, and then I put everything together on why I had this dream. Mm-hmm. Number one, Doug Gottlieb rant. Right. Number two, we had talked a lot about Barack on Monday because he was sitting courtside at the NBA All-Star game, and I talked about his museum. Yep. And we even mentioned that Michelle was courtside, and then I've got a back issue. So I think all of that. And then probably the part that put the...
Yeah, what made the hookup happen?
Tony Clark. I put
that. Good point. Also, real quickly, this Fan Focus was sponsored by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Yeah.
Who I'm sure loves to punctuate this story.
So, yeah, it was just a very odd dream. And the one thing they tell you about dreams is write them down or say them out loud because you'll forget about it.
Right.
So now that I told you, Tiki, you'll never forget
I will never forget that. Remember that time you almost hooked up with Michelle Obama, Evan?
You know what this means, Tiki, because we talked about this today? You and I are coming in with stories about Michelle Obama tomorrow.
No, there's no doubt about it.
Oh, you're going to have a dream too.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. Anyhow, let's get back to your calls, 888-808-1019. Pablo is in Dover, New Jersey. Hey, Pablo.
Hey guys, that's a tough act to follow. But calling in regards to Sean's take, as someone who never agrees with him, is the only time I have to say he's 100% spot on. For example, Team USA basketball, I'm a diehard Knicks fan. If you think I'm going to root for Tatum or Halliburton or LeBron, it's not happening. I mean, baseball is different because it's not in the Olympics, but again, same thing there. The only sport I think it works in, or I know it works in, is soccer, and that's because the national teams play, longer than the tournaments to qualify, and I feel like you follow the players at their clubs and you root for the individual player because they're American or whatever, whatever country. But Olympic sport, Team USA, I'm not rooting for those guys. So, Sean, you're 100% right, and that's probably the last time I'll say it in my life.
Oh,
Thanks, guys.
wow.
Thanks, I think.
Speaking of Team USA in the World Cup is coming up recently. Obviously, it's all Americans on the team. Evan and I were just looking at the coaching roster. There is not an American coach on Team USA.
Isn't that crazy?
Not one.
Not one. They're all from different parts of the world, which is common with these coaches and managers in these international tournaments.
Right.
But it is a little, especially America, where we've got millions of people living here.
I know.
And yet our coaches are not from here.
And I think it's probably because of the style that you have to play in order to win the World Cup, like to beat Brazil, to beat Argentina, any of those top in England, obviously. You have to play a different style than what's coached in the United States. But none of the coaches are American.
I think that our last caller's analogy is really, really good when it comes to basketball. Now, if we were living in a world where Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges, they weren't going to Villanova, but they were all Canadian, and there was some kind of Team Canada versus USA event, and Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, and they're all Canadian, right? They're just all from Canada. You have to admit it would be odd. You wouldn't be sitting there like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to watch them lose to Jason Tatum and LeBron James. So I know it's not a perfect analogy, but at least it's a crumb of where I think some people will see where Sean is coming from. That it's not as simple as, hey, I'm Team USA. Of course, it is 99% of the time, but there could be a way in which you're sitting there rooting for players that you most of the time dislike.
Right.
And now you're rooting against guys that you normally like.
Right, and it's going to be easy if they play Canada. I hate Tom Wilson. I hate Sidney Crosby. Go beat him.
Ralph is in Clinton, Connecticut. Hey, Ralph.
Hey, Evan. Hey, Tiki. Love you guys. Tiki, you're my favorite Giant of all time.
Thank
you. Just want to give you that shout out. Hey, two things. I'm going to take an L. Called in before the NFL football season started, and I said the Giants were going to be 12-5, and they were woefully short of that. So I will take an L for that, and then you can give that to me.
All right.
But the other thing I wanted to talk about was Jack Hughes. Sean mentioned his name, and it just kind of popped up. And I'm not sure if any of you guys are aware, but he was the last player cut on the Miracle on Ice team for Team USA. I only know that because I actually work with Jack.
Wait, who was cut by the Miracle on Ice team?
Jack Hughes.
Are you aware of the Jack Hughes that plays for the Devils?
Are we talking about different Jack Hughes? We must be talking about different
Well,
Jack
we're talking about a different Jack Hughes. When you said Jack Hughes, I went to the guy who was cut from the Miracle on Ice team. And I actually worked with him.
I got it. So when we mentioned the current Jack Hughes, it made him think of the then Jack Hughes.
Why would he'll think we have any idea who the hell he's talking about?
I think this guy needs a second L.
What?
All right, now you got to confirm that there was a Jack Hughes that played before. Clearly, he had to be an NHL player.
All right, I found it. Jack Hughes, 1980 USA Hockey.
Yes,
I'm going to look this guy up.
And did he play in the NHL?
Okay,
or was he just a college star?
He was born in 1957. John Francis Jack Hughes is an American former professional ice hockey player who played 46 games in the NHL for the Colorado Rockies, who, by the way, went on and became the New Jersey Devils. Huh. He played with the American national team during the 1980 season, but was the last player cut before they played at the Olympics.
Wow, so no L for him.
It's an all. Well, the L is what's the point?
Yeah, like you can't call
he was
and say.
Just saying. It just reminded him.
No. But if you call, and I know because I screened him, I have a point to make about Jack Hughes.
Right.
Based on what you just said about Jack Hughes. We weren't talking about the same Jack Hughes.
Okay, but if his Jack Hughes, it just made him think of the Miracle on Ice team, and the fact that he works with a guy who was almost on that team.
I think so. I'm with you on that part of the story is cool, but his assumption was that we were referencing his Jack Hughes.
No. Your assumption was that he was referring to this Jack Hughes.
I think it's a fair assumption.
Your inference was wrong.
All I know,
all
I know is it's kind of cool that he works with this guy because that's a great story. I mean, that's his biography, which is he played a handful of games in the NHL, which is a great accomplishment. Coincidentally, played for the hockey team that predated the New Jersey Devils.
Right.
I think that part's really cool.
I wonder if there can't be a relation.
No, I don't think so. But I guess it would be cool for him. Like, if you're a guy who had a cup of coffee in the NHL, forget the 1980 Olympic team. No, that's cool, too.
Yeah.
But you had a cup of coffee in the
almost
NHL.
made it.
You played for a team that would later move and go on and become the New Jersey Devils, and now someone by your exact name is a superstar player for that team decades later. That's kind of badass.
That is badass.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
I'd have been more interested if the actual Jack Hughes called in. Like, we went to Jack in Jersey, and Jack was like, yeah, you know what my name is? What's that?
Right.
Jack Hughes. And guess what? I was the last guy cut.
Is he in Milan?
No, not that Jack
Now
Hughes.
we're back to the other one. See, your difference was wrong.
I'm going to the original Jack Hughes.
I got it.
Let's go to Carmine in West Babylon. Hey, Carmine.
Hey, guys. Tiki, I feel for you, man. You are working with two grown children. Let me tell you, man. You know, Sean's take didn't bother me as much, but when I heard Evan chime in today, now it really got my blood boiling. Evan.
What?
When you were a little tyke, 10, 9, 10 years old, were you rooting against America when rest in peace Drazen Petrovic was playing for Croatia? Come on, you have to suspend your crazy fandom for 2 weeks and put your country above all else.
All right,
because I guess you're in your hierarchy. Evans, New York Mets, New York Jets, Nets, and then in the 80th spot is the country. You guys are just too crazy fans. That's the problem why you can't compartmentalize and put your country first for 2 friggin' weeks.
Right.
Please, man.
And the fact that they're probably going to, they're going to win.
I put my country first when it matters. I put my country first when it has to do with...
This doesn't matter? This doesn't matter to the 15 players. How many players on the U.S. hockey team? 20? 20 players on the U.S. men's hockey team.
All right.
Doesn't it matter to them?
I'm about to go
especially because some of them are local. Because they could be, I don't know, holding their medals, walking down Times Square and on the Today Show. Okay, but it
matters to them.
You're not going to celebrate them?
Do they celebrate when I win a Long Island championship?
Jack Hughes wins a gold medal. He comes in studio just because he wants to talk about it. And we'd say, oh, yeah, it'd be great. Jack Hughes in studio. The younger Jack Hughes in studio. It'd be awesome, right?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool.
Would you say no? Would you say congratulations? Or would you say go screw yourself, you devil? What would you say?
I'm cordial. I'll be honest with you. Hey, congratulations. I can't stand you. I think you're too short to play in the league.
You would not say that. You would not.
I can't stand you
There's
play.
no chance you would say that.
Well, first of all, you are...
What if he comes in and is like, hey, this medal is in it. Here, Sean, you want to wear my medal?
Well, of course I put on the medal.
Yeah.
You're twisting this discussion.
So two-faced.
No, you are twisting this discussion.
I'm not twisting nothing.
Because what that caller said, that if I put everyone on a lie detector test and put them on record, this is where I'm going to go full Sean.
Yeah.
And Sean's right. I put the Mets and the Jets and the Nets above Team USA.
Yes.
We all do. We all do. I'll ask Boomer.
No.
Ask Boomer, would he rather have a Stanley Cup from the Rangers or Team USA win the gold, which means they win the next 2 hockey games, including beating Canada? There's no way Boomer's going to prefer that.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Go ahead.
Those 2 things are not mutually exclusive.
No, but that's what he's asking. He's saying you put your sports fandom and the teams you root for ahead of the national team. And the answer is most people
they don't exist at the same time. So why does it matter? Why can't you do both?
I agree you can do both, but he's asking on the pecking order, where does it rank? I think for most people listening.
No, he's saying set aside your fandom for 2 weeks and be all USA.
But I think that's also my point. I am setting aside my fandom for 2 weeks. I am Team USA, but while watching this, I struggle with rooting against my guys. And also, I know in the end, whether Team USA wins or loses in the end, while I'll be happy, it is not near the same feeling, high or low, that you feel with your pro teams. It just isn't. So we can all be supportive for these 2 weeks, and I think that's been great. But let's not pretend you have the same emotion tied to this Team USA team you do with your pro team.
So when Kenny Albert is calling the Olympic final between the United States and Canada, and it's just a raucous crowd, it's an overtime, it comes down to I don't know, whoever. Let's say Jack Hughes scoring the winning goal, and Kenny's call is so amazing that you can't help but like shed a little bit of a tear. Are you going to be like, yeah, but it was Jack Hughes?
No.
Screw America.
I'll be like, this is awesome, America.
That's what you're going to say. Screw America.
No.
That's basically what you're saying.
I will not say screw America. I will be celebrating that, but I'll wake up Monday, put my 2 shoes on, come to work, and feel no differently. But I would feel differently if it was a Ranger Cup.
Andrew is in Bay Ridge. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, what's up, guys? I don't know, maybe in my old age I'm getting like softer, so my hatred is not as like intense as like a Met fan against, say, the Yankees.
I think you're right, Andrew, because I'm that same way.
Yeah, it's like there's just only so many hours in the day, and I can't waste that energy on like hatred.
Right.
But I will say, like, and Sean made a good point to me when we just talked briefly that it's like it's only for 2 weeks, but you know, think of the egregious acts you'll forgive players of, including crime, when they put on your colors. So, like, the red, white, and blue is our colors. So, you know, if Bryce Harper, who I hate with a bleeding passion, is up with the bases loaded and, you know, and he's wearing my colors, as in the red, white, and blue, like, I hope he knocks it out of the park. You know, so it's like I can put that aside for 2 weeks, and I think most people should.
Yes, I agree with that.
I just wonder, Andrew. I wonder, Andrew, and I'm not calling him a liar by any stretch. I wonder if I was sitting next to him, we were at a bar together, and the moment was occurring in live time, if he would actually say that with a straight face. Like, I think it's easier when we are talking in hypotheticals or it's a day after to say, of course I'm rooting for Bryce Harper. But in that moment, where it's your guy against their guy, even though their guy is wearing our colors, I don't know if it's as open and shut as he is describing it. And that's all I'm saying. It doesn't mean I'm rooting against America, but in that rare moment, I can understand the hesitation. That's all.
Right. Next summer, Vinny Testaverde's quarterback in the Italy team, Tom Brady's quarterback in the American team.
I mean, there you go. It's a perfect example. I mean,
you're rooting for Tom Brady.
No, I'm not.
Jet fans are all rooting for Tom Brady?
You absolutely are rooting for Tom Brady.
I don't see a world ever where I'm rooting for Tom Brady. Like, I don't know, other than him playing for the Jets, I guess. Like, other than that, I don't see a world where that could even happen. Like, I would never root for him.
You're lying.
You think I'm lying?
Yes.
That I would root for Tom? Come on.
You would root for Tom Brady. No. You absolutely. If Team America and world flag football.
All right, let me get into this.
You're rooting for Tom Brady.
Let's talk about what being patriotic really means. Sitting there on a Sunday afternoon watching a sporting event isn't patriotism. Patriotism is voting and having your voice heard. Patriotism is paying your taxes, even though I hate taxes.
It's also that.
It's a part of your job.
It's also
It's a part of protesting or disagreeing. It's a part of agreeing. It's a part of making a freaking difference. It's a part of buying America and saying, hey, I'm going to put my country first. I'm not going to buy that item that was made in China. That's patriotism.
You don't know it's made in China.
Well, sometimes I look. Let me look at my shoe right now.
No,
Hold
you
on
don't.
1 second.
You have no idea.
Made in. Damn it.
Where's it made?
Son of a bitch. Where's it made? It was made in China, okay? I screwed up in this case.
There you go.
So I screwed up. I admit it.
There you go.
But isn't that what matters? Especially the voting part. Like being a part of this great experiment that was created hundreds of
voting.
That's what patriotism is.
We're talking about
because I'm rooting for Bryce Harper to the grand slam off somebody.
We're talking about the Olympics. We're not talking about politics. We're talking about the Olympics.
Well, I'm just saying. Don't you think that's more patriotic?
For USA. Root for USA.
Huh?
Root for USA. Sean.
USA.
I am rooting for USA. People keep burying that part of the lead. That's all.
Let me go to this call. This has nothing to do with the Olympics, but it's fascinating. Franco is in Staten Island. What's up, Franco?
Hey, Franco.
Hey there. Great show. Your teamwork together is great. And, Tiki, I admire you as a Giants fan, but I think more for this show for your intelligence, logic, and acting as an arbiter of the show.
Thank you.
So I want to just give...
That's because I'm the old head. I'm the old head, Franco.
Not as old as I am. So the topic here is going to be about aliens, and I am a NASA...
Yes.
And I'm a NASA scientist.
Oh, you're my guy now. Go ahead.
I'm actually envious.
Floor is yours.
All right. So a little background. Bachelor's and Master's in Mechanical Engineering with a senior project in the aerodynamics of a knuckleball, and the master's thesis was on the chemical kinetic modeling of hydrogen-fueled supersonic engines which was funded by NASA.
Wow.
So this week, I'm going to...
Is that fusion? Is that fusion in some way?
No.
That'll never happen?
It will happen, but that'll take a while.
Right.
So, Tiki, you didn't try to prove the existence of aliens, but stated that if aliens live on a distant star or celestial body, it would take so many years to travel to Earth that there is no way that aliens ever visited Earth.
That's correct.
And as usual, your intelligence and logic is flawless. But let me add flawless based on the assumptions made.
All right.
Thank you.
I learned in my knuckleball project it is very important to test the assumptions.
Okay.
So Tiki's assumptions, explicit or not, is that time is linear and in series. That is, the present comes after the past and the future comes after the present.
Yes.
But in some people's worlds, there can be parallel planes and things happen at the same time.
Well, there are also theories. There are also theories, Franco, that time exists in totality right now. Like there is no past or present. We could go forward or backwards depending on where you sit.
But that's an assumption you made based on that it took too long a time.
Yes.
So the other assumptions you made were kind of an understanding of our current technology, that aliens are physical beings, and that they live on a distant planet or star.
Yeah.
So I have a question that I would like each of you to answer if you want.
Go ahead.
Tiki, do you believe in angels like I do?
Believe in angels.
Well, do you believe in angels? Thank you for the call, Franco. And basically, he said intellectually the points I was trying to make over the last few days to Tiki about why aliens probably do exist. But go ahead. Do you believe in angels?
So this is like an existential question about people. Like what happens to you when you die? Because we know based on the known laws of physics, energy can't be created and destroyed. Everybody knows that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens to the energy that's inside of you? Like your soul, your being, where does that go? And so I probably would say, yes, there are angels.
Then come on. How can you sit here and say there are no aliens?
Because I could envision where an angel, put that in quotes, comes from.
Yeah, I can envision
I can't envision how an alien, especially those that are billions and billions of years away, light years away, how they get here, unless there's an existence of wormholes. And by the way, I just started watching Stargate SG-1 with Richard Dean Anderson, also of MacGyver, and it's a cool show because they have wormholes that go to different parts of the galaxy.
Yeah.
So, and Einstein's theories allow for wormholes.
Right.
There's no proof of them. So if they exist, then maybe we'll see aliens. But they don't exist.
I think, though, he makes a great point that a lot of I don't want to offend anybody with this, a lot of the things we believe in are also very tough to believe in and imagine, and yet this we're not okay with, but the other stuff, of course. And I'm agnostic. I don't know. I'm the first. I have no idea.
Right.
But I thought that was good stuff by him.
By the way, I'm not saying there's not aliens.
Yes, you have.
I'm just saying, no. I'm saying we will never see them.
All right.
By the way, this is why time travel would never happen either.
Yeah.
Because if you traveled in time to last week, right? You could go in time to last week. You'd also have to travel in space.
Yeah, time travel to me doesn't exist in terms of going backwards, but it does exist in going forward, because if you break the time and sound barrier, there is a way for your body to not feel the amount of time that's passing on Earth. And so it's kind of like Planet of the Apes. It's basically what happened to Charlton Heston.
Right.
Thousands of years went by. He didn't feel it, but the Earth did.
Right.
Now, Tiki, if we found out aliens were real and Kerry
Collins...
Collins...
they are weird. They are real.
But they were here. Kerry Collins was one, and then we decided to play an aliens versus citizens football game, and it was Kerry Collins versus Donovan McNabb. Are you not rooting for your guy, Kerry Collins?
There you go. Team Aliens.
I mean...
he convinced them. You win, Sean.
Thank you.
Go McNabb.
Oh, get serious. I don't buy it. Hey, when we come back, we're all about to get educated because there's been a lot of talk over the last few days on the pending work stoppage, the departure of Tony Clark. and everything that's going on. We're going to learn all about it from Evan Drellick. He does a great job covering this and many other things regarding baseball for The Athletic. He'll join us coming up in a few minutes. We'll get back to your calls later as well at 888-808-1019. Sean's got his Cinco de Lunch show, so a lot to cover as we take you throughout your afternoon until the Carton Show at 2 o'clock.
Even at 50, I still train hard, and recovery matters, especially as I'm on my path towards my next New York Roadrunners event. That's the New York City Half Marathon coming up in just a few weeks. That's why I use GAT Sports' new creatine chews. No powder, no mess, no shaker cups. Just great flavors like grape, cotton candy, lemon lime, and fruit punch on the go. 5 grams of creatine per serving. Save 30% off your first bottle at gatsport.com with code TIKI30. That's GAT Sport.com with code TIKI30. GAT Creatine Chews. Fuel up, compete harder. Let's go.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Old Trapper, what's your beef? I love Mark Cuban, I really do. But to hear him advocate for tanking in the NBA is sheer hypocrisy at its finest. To see a guy who's constantly and rightfully critical of his hometown baseball team, the Pittsburgh Pirates, for seemingly always being in tank mode, trying to justify the same concept in the NBA, isn't just frustrating, it's infuriating. I'm Chris Mack.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel despised the word empty. Empty plates, empty tables, empty stomachs. That's why he made the KFC $5 bowls, like the famous bowl. Creamy mashed potatoes, crispy chicken, corn, gravy, and cheese. Because the only empty the Colonel liked was when you reached the bottom of that bowl. The Colonel lived, so we could chicken. 5 KFC bowls for just $5 each.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Cloudy with a high of 45 degrees in Central Park.
Weather brought to you by Staples. From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples. That was easy.
The team at FW Web includes seasoned professionals, certified trainers, skilled technicians, and industry experts who understand the real challenges contractors face every day. From the counter to the job site, they support every phase of every project with trusted guidance, comprehensive inventory, and hard-to-find parts when you need them. With personalized project support and convenient pickup or delivery across the tri-state area, FW Web helps contractors work smarter and stay on schedule. FW Web, experts behind every job. Learn more or find your nearest tri-state location at FWWeb.com.
D'Agostino & Associates is a legacy firm that's there to help accident victims. I'm attorney Jenna D'Agostino, continuing the legacy my father, John D'Agostino, started 35 years ago when he built D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm, one client at a time.
I grew up on these New York and New Jersey streets. They shaped me. I'm attorney John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. I often tell the story of how my father lost his leg in a construction accident so people understand I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call my team first. 888-24-LAW-24. 888-24-LAW-24.
Continuing the legacy means working closely with my father and our team. When you're injured, we know a big decision has to be made. Call our team first.
D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call my team first. 888-24-LAW-24. 888-24-LAW-24. D'Agostino Law Bite Back.
Got gold or silver just laying around? Estates Roadshow wants it, and they are paying top dollar. Monday through Sundays at TMT Cash for Gold locations on Route 9 South in Old Bridge or in Toms River, corner of Route 37 and Hooper Avenue. Visit tmtcashforgold.com.
When equipment breaks down and operations come to a halt, every single second counts. So why is your maintenance team spending 60% of their time doing anything but turning wrenches? MaintainX is the AI-powered maintenance and asset management system that helps your team get back to actually fixing breakdowns. No more searching for manuals. No more hunting down parts. No more drowning in paperwork. With MaintainX, your team can access manuals from anywhere, create new procedures in minutes, and turn voice notes into clear and complete work order feedback. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. Keep your operations moving, not your paperwork. Join over 11,000 maintenance teams that are already fixing more and filing less. Try MaintainX for free today. Go to maintainx.com/AI. That's maintain and the letter x.com/AI.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Drew Brees here. Whether you're on the field or on the road, having the right team on your side makes all the difference. I learned that the hard way. On the field, you don't go anywhere without a solid O-line. And when your car breaks down, you want that same kind of protection. That's why I trust CarShield. Their protection plans help you tackle expensive repairs so that you're not blindsided.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
That sound? Yeah, that's not a good sign. Hey, it's Drew Brees. And when your car starts making noises like that, a big repair bill might be coming right at you. But with CarShield, you don't have to fear unexpected breakdowns. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. I spent my career making tough calls, but this one is simple.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
This President's Month at Nielsen Dodge, fun is in the driver's seat. We're celebrating all month with special presidential savings, plus 0 down payment.
We have your new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram at extra special fun is in the driver's seat savings.
Lease a new 2026 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4, just $187 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Laredo X 4x4, just $295 a month.
Plus, choose from a wide selection of certified pre-owned vehicles.
And if you need credit help, we're here to make it fast and easy on Route 10 in East Hanover, or shop online at nielsendodge.com.
Proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
President's Day sales event. Term 27 months to assigned Compass 5782, Cherokee 5890 at tax tag 489 dock and DMV fees.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Evan Tiki here on The Fan. We've all spent the last couple of days talking a lot about the pending MLB labor issue, even if it's still 9 months away. It obviously jumped into the news, not only with the baseball season starting and just the talk of there eventually being a lockout, but everything that went down with Tony Clark. So let's get educated on this whole thing, because I got a million questions. And joining us right now, a guy does a great job for The Athletic, senior writer, a lot of information on all this. Evan Drellick joins us. Evan, thank you very much for coming on. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, guys. It's been a long week, but I'm glad to be here.
How you feeling? You feeling all right? Because I know you're a little banged up.
So, I'll tell you very quickly the story of how this unfolded. They were supposed to, the union was supposed to go start its spring training tour on Tuesday with the Cleveland Guardians, and I was supposed to go there at 9 o'clock on Monday night. I got a text that meeting was canceled. And that was strange to me, and I texted Ken Rosenthal about this because I was trying to text with somebody at the union on Monday, and they were not responding at all. Somebody who would normally respond.
Right.
I don't get any sleep that night. I end up going to the hospital with a stomach problem. I've never gone to the hospital in my life, but something was clearly wrong. I got an IV in my arm at 5:30 in the morning in a hospital, and we're breaking that story that Tony has been, he's resigning, been let go amidst all this. And so it's been a very long week for me, but it's not totally surprising. You know, the question of how is this guy going to continue to lead with the possibility of a federal indictment coming down during collective bargaining was a question that was looming for a long time.
No doubt. And obviously they do the internal investigation. We find out more information, and he's gone. I think the first reaction a lot of fans have is, does this make the owners and this commissioner feel like, oh, there's blood now, that we will be even more aggressive in trying to get what we want? Does this change the negotiations that will start a few months from now?
Look, I've talked to some ownership side sources through this. The feeling that the union was in disarray existed previous to this is kind of what I'm talking about with the federal investigation looming over it. In a way, had Tony stepped down sooner, I think it could have made the situation different and more advantageous to the owners. The fact that you end up with Bruce Meyer, who's an incumbent, leading the union, in a way, it's still status quo. It's the same kind of thought patterns that are still inside this union. It's not as though they went outside, got somebody totally different, and you're wondering, well, what do they believe in? What do they not believe in? That said, yeah, look, when you have a leadership change, literally 2 months before bargaining's going to start in April. The contract expires in December, but they're going to start negotiating really in a couple months here. It is so far from ideal to have a leadership change at this point in time.
And just to clarify, he is now, this isn't an interim tag. He is the executive director, right?
I believe it is interim, but I think it will last through bargaining. Once they get through bargaining, they'll figure out, do they want to keep on with Bruce Meyer? Or do they want to do a full nationwide search?
Now, tell us about Bruce Meyer. I think we've heard that he's a hawk, that he wants the players to opt, if it comes to it, to miss time. What does that mean for the players, but also what does it mean for the owners if that's the, let's call it, nuclear option they go for?
Yeah, let's go back to when Bruce Meyer got to the union. So after the 2016 negotiations that produced the 2017-21 CBA, the players did not do well. Tony Clark was at the table leading those negotiations. There was a whole drama around were they more concerned with getting better seats on their bus when they're going to and from the ballpark than anything economic. And so they needed bargaining help. They went out and got somebody who was a veteran lawyer who'd worked with sports unions before. That's Meyer.
Right.
And they brought him in to get them, to take a hardline stance on economic matters. And he's largely done that. And he is a hawk. He is a combative personality. He can be aggressive with the media. But, if you kind of step back and ask, well, what do you want in someone who is leading negotiations against the owners? You want someone who's going to kind of staunchly advocate for your positions and your needs, right? At the end of the day, collective bargaining is about money. There's just nothing else to it other than which side gets more money. And Bruce Meyer fights aggressively for it. That rubs some people the wrong way. The league looks at him as a former litigator, and he's not a deal maker and all these things. But on the player side, people look at that as a compliment. You don't want a pushover in collective bargaining on either side. Rob Manfred, guess what? Not a pushover.
Right.
No doubt.
Right. Do you think it'll come down to, though, missing games?
It's really going to depend, I think, on this salary cap proposal that the owners make and how long it lasts. If the owners are dead set on a salary cap, which the union has for decades fought against, I would expect there will be missed games. Now, the owners could make a salary cap proposal and then eventually back off it, and then the question becomes, well, how onerous or not onerous for the players is whatever they propose in the alternative. Rob could stand there and go, well, we're not going to give you a cap, but we're going to make the luxury tax this much worse and try to take advantage in all these other ways, and then you can still end up missing games. So, look, last time the players were angry for 10 years. And they didn't miss games. Everybody found a way to play. There's so much money at stake, and you've got national TV deals that need to be redone in 28, going into 2029. All the current deals run through 28. it doesn't make a lot of rational sense to miss a ton of time. I think they'll find a way to play. But if the owners stand there and say, we need a cap, yes, I promise you there will be missed time.
What's the sense you get on the cap? Because it feels like Rob Manfred's talked around it when he's been asked. Like, are they going to aggressively pursue a salary cap?
I have no doubt at this point that they are going to propose one, and they're not going to propose one and say, you know what, we kind of think we need this, but we're willing to back off it, right? They're going to start from a position of strength, hammering the table. We need this, we need this, we need this. And again, it just comes down to how long does that last? When we get to March of 2027, because I promise you're not getting a deal before March of 2027.
Right.
It was March of last time.
Right.
And so, yes, I think they are serious. They want a cap. Remember, for MLB on the owner's side to approve a proposal, to approve a new CBA, they need a 3/4 vote. That means that there are 8 owners who stand there and say we need a cap, while the other 22 are saying we're good backing off a cap. Rob can't move. And so it becomes a big internal ownership politics game before you even deal with the players' side.
What's the sense you get on, because obviously you talk about the owners and those that can stand in the way. You've got 30 different ownership groups, all coming from different perspectives. We played a clip of Steve Cohen the other day in which he was asked, do you want a salary cap? And he tried to non-answer it by being like, I'm supportive of the league.
Right.
But he's mostly supportive of the league is what he said.
No, he
I'm
said
like,
sometimes.
Which led me to believe I could see Steve Cohen being like, what are we doing here? So do you get a sense on how many of the owners are committed on making this a blood fight over a salary cap?
It's hard to say exactly how many. When I talk to ownership sources, it sounds like at this point it's a pretty unified front. But your point about the 30 different owners being in 30 different spots is correct. The thing that I think gets lost, Steve Cohen, the Dodgers, the Yankees, they do have an advantage in being able to spend. But these big market teams would be the greatest beneficiaries of all of a salary cap. The fact that your franchise value would shoot up the second that you get it, and you don't have to have that public pressure anymore to spend $350, $400 million to go out and get the Juan Sotos for $700 million. It takes all this pressure off of the big market teams and lowers their payroll instantly while raising their franchise value. So the idea that big market teams are going to say we don't want a cap, well, they would more easily exist without a cap than other teams, but they would benefit more than anybody.
So correct us if this is not the issue. The issue seems to be the acceleration of player salaries. You're starting to see guys making AAVs of $60+ million a year. Obviously, some of it is deferred money. That's a different conversation, which we can get to in a minute here, especially with what the Dodgers are doing. But then there's also the idea that these ownership groups are worried about profitability. Like a lot of them don't operate with these huge black numbers. What's actually driving the desire for the cap?
I think part one is honestly franchise value. If you're a Major League Baseball owner, you look at the NBA and the NFL, and those franchise values are climbing faster than your franchise values.
Right.
And Steve Greenberg, who's a banker at Allen & Company, I believe Hank Greenberg's son, was on the record with me last year about this very fact, that unless they get a cap in baseball, the franchise values are not going to climb in quite the same way. Then you get into these other arguments, regarding quote-unquote competitive balance. The smaller market teams don't typically compete for the biggest free agents. That puts a lot of pressure on the ownership groups from fans, and you get fans in these markets that say, well, it looks like we can't compete. Whether or not they can compete, the Milwaukee Brewers did quite well last year, best record,
right?
Better than the Dodgers. That's a whole other question there. But so it's a multi-factor thing. Franchise values, can they keep up with everybody else? All the small market teams will tell you, we just can't possibly sign guys the way other teams do.
So based on that, we're talking to Evan Drellick of The Athletic. Here's what I guess confuses me, because we never really hear specifics on this cap because, of course, the players would never agree to it. But one thing that we are enamored by is a salary floor. Like, force the Marlins to not have a payroll of $75 million. If somehow we went into a cap world in which the minimum basement payroll was $200 million, and let's say the cap was $400 million, Where's the money coming from to where the Marlins and the Guardians, who cry poverty all the time, and the Pirates and the A's, who cry poverty all the time, how are they possibly doubling their payroll in this world where there's a cap floor?
Yeah, it's a great question. So what would change is revenue sharing. And they want to change, they being the owners, revenue sharing anyway, right? TV money is drying up. The local media rights are dropping, particularly for the smaller market teams. So if you get a cap, if you're the owners, what you can then do is share more of your TV money. You can say, instead of a percentage of it, all of it has to be shared. Now, the big market teams are going to say, well, our rights are more valuable than everybody else's.
Right.
And so we're not going to want to share more of other things, right? We're going to share less of the stadium ticket revenue and all this. But the cap allows the owners to change revenue sharing in a way that probably they're not going to be able to get an agreement internally amongst themselves to do otherwise, because the whole thing hinges on changing your TV rights setup. Again, the big markets are going to stand there and go, well, what am I getting for sharing more of the TV money? Well, if you say you're getting a cap to Hal Steinbrenner and to Steve Cohen, okay, well, then maybe you make those changes. But the answer is the little market teams would get more money from TV, and that would allow them to spend up to those floors.
Yeah, I think the other thing related to this is the structure of some of these contracts, in particular the Dodgers are trying to take advantage of, and really are taking advantage of. This feels like an owner versus owner thing. Is that going to be a part of this in any way, this discussion?
It's always owners versus owner. That's kind of the take that's always there, that is really not about the players. It's about the owners fighting amongst themselves here. And there are ways that you can deal with these issues, at least to some degree, probably not as dramatically, without a cap system here. Deferred payments, I'm sure there's going to be some modification to it, whether there's some sort of limitation on it. The players and the agents, of course, like it. They believe it creates some flexibility, for getting guys signed. So it's not as though on the player side, they're saying we want to get rid of deferred payments. But look, the teams like the Dodgers that can do it do have an advantage, because you're able to put that money aside. You have to put the money aside, the deferred money, and then it sits in some sort of investment vehicle, and it accumulates money, right? So the money that the Dodgers are paying Shohei Ohtani, they make money off of that, and smaller market teams look at that and go, like, we can't do this. We can't fund $46 million, in some sort of investment vehicle in advance.
Who has, and we're talking to Evan Drellick of The Athletic, who has more to lose by missing games? The owners, the players? Obviously, you mentioned the TV deal expires. But if you had to kind of measure it, who do you think suffers more by losing games?
Look, my honest answer is everybody suffers in a big way. I guess on some level the answer would be players, for the simple reason that the combined net worth of the owners is just going to surpass the players. Even if Juan Soto's the money he has on hand is nothing compared to what Steve Cohen has on hand here, but. A few years ago, I sat down with Rob Manfred at Yankee Stadium. It was before a playoff game. We were talking about the health of the sport. And he held up his cell phone and he said, this is a problem. And what he was talking about is the fact that baseball has to compete with anything you can access on your cell phone. Netflix, any streaming service, whatever. It's not just baseball trying to grab eyeballs from other sports. You are in this really tight competition environment for entertainment eyeballs. And if you walk away and shut down this sport, it's not like 94, 95. You're giving up so much more money, and you're going to anger so many people and turn people away. And then you're going to go turn around and negotiate new TV deals, national TV deals for 2028. It's cutting off your nose to spite your face.
And that everything you said is why I want to offer you a very unpopular opinion. And it's not about if you agree with me or not. It's more, do you think the owners would consider this? And I don't think anyone's brought this up yet. I remember 1995 when the strike basically turned into a lockout or whatever it turned into, and then they were going to have replacement players. And I remember as a 12-year-old watching replacement games, and my attitude was, it's baseball. It's baseball. It's ugly, but it's baseball. Because of what you just mentioned, leaving the sport dark for a year sounds like such a horrible idea. Will the owners, and can the owners, because it's a lockout, consider replacement players so that the sport doesn't shut down for a full year?
It would create such an additional layer of hand-wringing and vitriol. It would be kind of unproductive in negotiating with players, right? Like if your goal is to get a deal done somehow, to turn that, it's not quite a nuclear option, but it's bad, right? It makes everything worse if they go the replacement player route. Could they try it? Sure, they could try it. It just doesn't seem to be the thing that you would do if the goal is actually to get back on the field.
I guess, and tell me where I'm wrong on this, from a fan perspective, would the owners view it, and TV deal-wise too, as we just got to give the people something so we're not losing you? So, yes, we're going to piss off the union, absolutely, but that option's better than letting our sport go away for a full year where people can learn there's so many other things to do.
Yeah. I would just argue
let me make one point to you. The minor leaguers are unionized now as part of the MLBPA, and I don't know how that would play into it, but that is a different world, state of the world than it was back in 94, 95, right? Gotcha. They are literally part of the same union now, and that might mean you just don't get minor leaguers who are willing to participate. So then what do you do at that point? You're going out and getting indie ball guys? I think that would be a big difference.
Yeah, my argument against that, Evan, would be that you would know as a baseball fan, this is an inferior product.
Yeah, and you're right. I guess as a baseball fan, and this is an argument for us geeks out there at some point if this happens, I'd still watch it. Now, I don't know if I'd feel the same way, but I'd watch it.
You wouldn't watch it religiously.
Maybe not, but I just wonder if that's a better option. But to your point, that would cause the union to basically say we're never, like, it would just be worse for the long-term health of the sport, I guess, right, Ev?
Yeah, I think that's right. And the more I think about it now, I can't imagine unionized minor leaguers under the Major League Baseball Players Association umbrella agreeing to it, because that's what it was last time, right? You had guys, AAA guys who hadn't quite made it yet, who ended up taking those roles. And if indeed there's solidarity inside the union, well, where are you getting those players? I just don't know.
We're talking to Evan Drellick. The MLB lockout will happen. As you said, it's just a matter of if we're going to miss games. I want to get back to the guy who got promoted, basically, Bruce Meyer, who's now the head of the MLBPA. You also mentioned about the investigation that was going on into the allocation of funds that was accused of Tony Clark. Is Bruce connected to this? Like, is there some worry that Bruce Meyer could end up also kind of having some dirty hands in this investigation that's going on?
So anything is possible, but the Department of Justice, despite my efforts, hasn't shared everything they've found at this point. So we just don't know what they're going to end up discovering. It's possible they never bring forth an indictment, but the reality is, at some point this year, it could be next year, Clark and or others at the MLBPA could be charged with something, some sort of wrongdoing related to how they handle union money, whether they were trying to get kickbacks, anything like that. So the only other part of that I would say is yesterday, Chris Bassett, who's on the MLBPA executive subcommittee, this group of 8 players who deals with union leadership a lot, he also is dealing with this law firm that the union brought in to do an internal investigation amidst this federal stuff, right? So the player said, okay, our boss is under investigation. We got to have our own guys look at what's going on here. And what Bassett said yesterday is that the internal investigation that turned up this relationship between Tony Clark and his sister-in-law, who's a union employee, also showed that Bruce Meyer and Matt Nussbaum is the general counsel who just got promoted to deputy director alongside Meyer, really had their backs, right? The internal investigation has shown up positively for Meyer and Nussbaum. So that doesn't mean somebody else at the union can't get embroiled, but there's no indication right now that Meyer and Nussbaum, the number 1 and number 2 at this moment, are going to be a part of it.
On a more fun level, when baseball returned after the lockout the last time, there were some major changes. I mean, we came back, and there's an extra playoff team. Right. There's the DH. There's the playing every team every single year, like major changes. When they get out of this lockout, are we looking at a different playoff format? Are we looking at realignment? Like, are we looking at another kind of group of major changes whenever this thing is settled?
I do think there'll be major changes. My guess is more of them are going to appear off the field, right? One way or another, revenue sharing is going to look different this go around than it did last time. I don't think you're going to see additional playoff teams. Realignment is a possibility in baseball, but it's going to wait unless something changes until they get it to expansion, right? So we're years away from realignment. When they go to expansion, they add 2 teams. They're going to go to 8 divisions of 4 teams, and then you're going to get, kind of a very different look to the sport here. I do think the international draft has a good chance to happen here, for the reason that last time, both sides made proposals for it. They couldn't agree on the money, but for the first time, you had the players saying, okay, we're open to the idea of an international draft. So I do think there's a reasonable shot that you end up with an international draft out of this.
It's going to be a very interesting next few months, that's for sure. Evan, we appreciate it. Thanks, you very
Evan.
much for coming on. Glad you're feeling better.
Thanks, guys.
Evan Drellick of The Athletic. He mentioned Chris Bassett. Chris Bassett made some news the other day because he said, quote, the salary cap doesn't fix anything. If you look at every major sport that has a salary cap, we have the best parity. The salary cap is not the issue. Having suppressed salaries across the league so owners can make more money is not the answer. Which just shows you we're going to have a war. I already have the answer to this.
Right.
Without a salary cap that I think everyone should be okay with.
Right.
I would raise the tax rate on going over the luxury tax would be raised. So the bill for the Dodgers, the bill for the Mets, the bill for the Yankees would be higher. But what I would do is I would force that pool of money to be spent on players by the small market teams.
Yeah.
It'd be a different form of. So I would force, before I do a cap, because I understand the view of a cap. I just think you guys are wrong. I think the biggest issue is the basement. So let's try this plan. Let's try the plan of a much higher tax rate when you go over the luxury tax bill and forcing these small market teams, we just gave you money, spend it.
Yeah.
And let's see in 4 years if it helps. If it doesn't, we could talk more about a salary cap. But to me, that's the way to try to do it.
I'm thinking more about what Chris Bassett just said. The reason he says that is because they have no idea how much the owners make. Right? In the NFL, it's very clear what everybody makes. In fact, there's a revenue share. It's a percentage split. 51-49, I believe it is. Obviously, the 2 percentage points going higher to the ownership. And so you know exactly what you're getting, and you know exactly what the owners are getting.
Right.
So it's easy to trust a salary cap. In baseball, because the owners refuse to disclose how much they're making or not making, you can't have clarity from a player standpoint whether or not they're fleecing you.
Right, because they don't trust them.
So they don't trust them. And so I get where he's coming from, but the solution for that is to just be open about what the revenues look like.
The other thing Chris Bassett is doing, Chris Bassett is misleading everybody when he talks about parity. He's not wrong, but he's misleading. The reason Major League Baseball has greater parity than the NFL in terms of who wins championships is the nature of the sport.
Right.
It's the fact that if you have a franchise quarterback like Kansas City had, like New England had, 2 of the all-time greats, your chances of winning are that much higher. That's not the case in baseball.
No, Chris Bassett could be the easiest shoe-in Hall of Fame pitcher, goes 9 innings every single time. You could still lose a series.
You could still not make the playoffs. Ask the Angels. They had Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. So I understand what Chris is saying, but he's being very
disingenuous.
It's misleading.
Right.
And I'm not saying that as someone who's a supporter of a salary cap. I just think everybody's full of crap.
Right.
And that's what pisses me off. I'm not pro player, I'm not pro owner, I'm pro fan, and basically everyone's full of crap.
Right.
That line by Chris Bassett, it's full of crap.
Right.
The idea that there needs to be a salary cap is also full of crap. So it sucks here as a fan when we've got to basically call everybody out because everyone's lying to you.
Unless there's the only way that the salary cap makes any sense is if we have clarity from an ownership standpoint, how much money they're actually making or losing.
Right.
That's the only way it makes any sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think you're lying to me. You're a businessman. You own a massive, huge franchise. I think you're lying to me to make more money.
Yeah.
That's Chris Bassett's stance, but it's also a logical explanation is that. You're not telling me how much you make because you're lying to me.
1,000%. We'll get back to your calls coming up, 888-808-1019. Sean's got a Cinco de Luncho list. And yesterday, right around this time, I made my Jets quarterback big board. I put that list I made into AI to ask how I did. I'll let you know how they graded my quarterback list coming up. It's Evan and Tiki here on The Fan.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by Ray Cattina Mercedes-Benz of Edison. It's also sponsored by Kalshi. Trade on anything. The MMA fight is Saturday, and you could trade on it nationwide on Kalshi. Hernandez is trading at 70% to beat Strickland. That means a $100 trade on Strickland pays out $333 with a win. Download the Kalshi app and use code FAN to get $10 when you trade $100. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Mercedes-Benz of Edison is more than a dealership. They're a luxury destination where exceptional vehicles meet exceptional people. It's why Cars.com named Mercedes-Benz of Edison the top Mercedes-Benz dealer in the U.S. for 2025. Discover yours at RayCatinaEdison.com.
If you're still living with bunion pain, it might be time to break up with your bunion. Because when bunions are ignored, they don't get better, they often get worse. Over time, they can lead to joint damage and arthritis. Once a bunion becomes too severe, minimally invasive options may no longer be possible. I'm Dr. Manigat. Early treatment can make a big difference, helping you feel better every day. Break up with your bunion and take the first step towards healthier, pain-free feet. Call us today at 877-5FASTER or visit allianceortho.com to schedule your appointment today.
Listen up, basketball fans. You won't. Ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Michelin Winter Tires offer confidence in all types of winter conditions. And Town Fair Tire offers every long-lasting, fuel-efficient Michelin tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Michelin Winter Tires that keep you going for years to come. For the guaranteed best deal on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
It's Dunkin's World and you're living in it, which means breakfast is easy and costs $5 with Dunkin's $5 meal deal. You get 6 crispy hash browns, a wake-up wrap, and a medium hot or iced coffee. Whatever your mood calls for. Bring your friend, your brother, your mother, your cousin, or just bring yourself. Because at Dunkin', they make deals for everyone. Get Dunkin's $5 meal deal only at Dunkin'. No substitutions. Participation in times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
The pros know nobody beats FW Web. With extensive inventory, personalized service, and a fleet of trucks across the Northeast, FW Web supports all customers, from one-van contractors to large facility operators. For planned projects, emergency jobs, or maintenance, FW Web has what you need, when and where you need it. For plumbing, heating, HVAC, refrigeration, propane gas, and PVF jobs. With over 100 locations, visit FWWeb.com to find one near you.
Operating engineers Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. So whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build both New York and New Jersey.
It's Tiki Barber with 2 words any business owner wants to hear: extra income. Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for New York businesses to assist with local deliveries. You get paid for each package delivered. Amazon Hub Delivery has no startup cost, no long-term contracts, and no delivery experience required. If you're a New York business ready to assist with local deliveries, sign up today at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
Make the smart choice, the Mazda CX-5, with standard all-wheel drive, advanced safety, and effortless handling. There's more to a Mazda than meets the eye. Lease your 2025 Mazda CX-5 for only $209 a month and elevate your journey wherever the road takes you. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. So good news, bad news on the offensive line market when considering the New York Football Giants. Browns guard of the last 7 years, Wyatt Teller, has posted on Instagram that they are leaving Cleveland. A nice farewell to Cleveland. He's expected to be one of the top guards on the market, an area where the Giants may, in fact, be exploring in free agency. Bad news for those waiting for that mass retirement coming out of Philly. Lane Johnson has announced he will be returning to Philadelphia to be their right tackle for another season next year.
This Fan Focus is brought to you by... No?
I already did that.
Oh, good job.
You were talking to Big Mac. You missed it. And it is brought to you by Chef IQ.
There you go. Hey, real quick, before we get to the Cinco de Lunch show, I do want to actually briefly defend the Los Angeles Dodgers. Andrew Friedman drives me nuts. He's the president of the LA Dodgers. And remember, he made those embarrassing comments a few months ago that the Dodgers stars try harder than everybody else.
Yes.
They practice more.
Right.
But he had a very brief comment that I want to play for you where no one can argue with what he's doing. Listen to Andrew Friedman, very brief reasoning on why the Dodgers spend as much as they do.
People who are upset by it just want our owner to pocket more money. Like, I don't understand the other side of it.
It's a great point. It's an absolutely great point, which is why I have no quarrel with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Well, it's not. They just make so much money.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
So do the Yankees and Mets. And what do we do on the radio? We scream and yell,
I don't
spend
think so.
more.
I don't think so.
That they don't make money? Well, the Mets don't. The Yankees probably do.
I don't think so.
You don't think the Yankees make money?
No.
What do you say that based on?
Just the gut. Because just like Friedman, who just mentioned, if you have that money, you're going to reinvest and spend. That's what good organizations do. There's a reason that the Yankees aren't doing it.
Yeah, I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to counter. My gut says they make a lot of money.
And what are they doing with it?
Spending some of it, but not enough of it.
Enriching themselves?
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing with it?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. And here's the problem, Tiki, and you made this point before. We don't know.
Yeah,
we
but
don't know how much the Yankees make.
I do know it is expensive to operate in New York.
I'm sure it is, but it's
that.
also
think about the unions and every worker and every I don't know. There's just massive costs.
I'm not saying you're wrong about that, but
debt
they
structures
also
you have to cover. All this other stuff.
But what about the Yes Network money? What about the money they make off of attendance? I mean, I don't know how much the revenue
all due respect
is.
to Yes, how much of Yes are you watching other than Yankee baseball?
That's not the question. The question is how much do they make off of it? And I don't
know. I mean,
I agree. I don't know.
Evan, that's
4
a
months of a
terrible
year,
answer.
you don't turn on the Yes Network.
Right. What'd you say?
That's a terrible answer.
What's a terrible answer?
Tiki, ask him the question again.
What's that?
The question.
What question?
The question about Yes Network.
Yeah, no. Ask it again. Ask it again. Go ahead.
How much money does Yes Network?
No. What do you watch besides the Yankees?
Slag nut Nets.
Nobody roots for the Nets. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Here's the problem.
Because his answer was, I don't know. You want the Nets.
Because it wasn't the point.
So that is the point.
No, that's
You're
not the
not
point.
watching the Nets
I
on the
am
Yes
watching the
Network.
Nets.
No, you're not.
I don't watch every Nets game now?
No.
You know I do.
Well, why didn't you answer?
Because that wasn't the point of the
It
argument.
is the point.
Well, obviously I watch the Nets.
Okay, you do. Who else?
Me. Keith.
Nobody roots for the Nets. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I don't know the answer to it, but I apologize to the Net fan community. The reason I didn't answer it is because I was so focused on that not being the point. So my apologies.
Okay.
Anyhow, feed us, Sean.
Oh, okay. That's right. It's that time.
Sean Moraes in the booth. Somebody hide the castle. Optics flying, phones ringing, Evans yelling. No! Tiki's laughing, chaos cracking, nobody's in control. It's Cinco de Roncho. Bam! Crunch! Let's go!
Let's go! Cinco de Luncho is brought to you by Helix Wireless, connecting everything, everywhere. This was a popular one a year ago, so we're here to re-update it. So popular, several shows took it and debated it. We're here to give you, once again, the 5 worst months of the year in updated fashion. Here we go.
Number 5.
Number 5 is December. I believe December did not make my list last year, but I realized we just get clouded by the holidays. If not the holidays, it's just a dumpy first sign that winter's here. December, number 5 on the worst months of the year.
Number 4.
Number 4 is April. Ooh, baseball's back. Guess what? Rain, more cold weather, then some more rain. The true spring-like weather rarely exists in April. It's few and far between.
Number 3.
March, the biggest tease. Think of it as the strip club of months. It's still a winter month that's dressed as the hope of spring. It ends with baseball back, and there's St. Patty's Day and a lot of drinking, but it's not helping the fact that it's 31 days of dreary cold.
Number 2.
February. Now, it would be number 1 if it wasn't just 28 days. It had previously been number 1 in my life. The Super Bowl being in the middle of the month makes it more palatable, but February sucks.
Number 1.
And making its debut at number 1 on my most hated months, finally here is January. It's something that I didn't put at number 1 because I keep going NFL playoffs. But now, like, what if you get a bad AFC championship game? What if you don't like football? January is so long, so cold, we still have snow on our ground from January. It sucks. It is undoubtedly the worst month of the year. And there you have the updated list of the 5 worst months of the year: December, April, March, February, January.
I tell you, man, this winter has changed my views.
About what? The winter?
I'm a winter guy. I like the winter. And while I still like the winter, this one has beat the crap out of me. And it's beaten the crap out of all of us. The fact that we may get a bomb cyclone on Sunday and its potential we're going to get another foot of snow.
I heard that.
No mas.
No.
Like, I'm done. I still like the changes. I still like the weather changes. But I'll tell you, if I'm making that list today, I'm probably more in agreement with Sean than I would have been a year ago.
And we've ended the debate forever on, well, remember in winter, you could put on as many layers as you want. The summer, what do you do in the heat? BS. I've put on 50 layers at times this winter. It hasn't helped.
This has been a rough winter.
You still need to see with your eyeballs. You're covering them too?
I get it. And I think a part of why I've been okay with it is over the last few years, we get our winter, we get some snow, but it's just not that bad.
Right.
This has been a bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
there's
it's
no
not even
denying
that we've gotten a ton of snow. It just hasn't gone away.
It hasn't gone away, and it's cold every day. Like, there's no respite.
It is starting to finally melt.
But then we might get a bomb cyclone
know.
Sunday to Monday. Now, it looks very less likely like that. Seems like a lot of social media bait.
I just can't put April up there. Like, the more I think about it, February.
April's a great month.
How?
I know, he put it up there.
The weather sucks.
No, it doesn't.
I think we're freezing at these baseball
But
games.
it's starting to change.
And
You're
it
seeing
rains.
more change.
Yeah, you can feel warmth in the air.
You can feel it, but not like the other ones. And you have to make it 5.
I get it. That's why, to me, with no particular order, January, February, and August are locks. Those are 3 months that they are always going to be on my list. It's way too hot in August. I'm done with the summer. Get me the hell out. February and January, those are the locks. The other 2 months, maybe it's March. I like December. I'm still kind of like into the winter thing.
It's cold. Think about it, man. Take away the holidays. The holidays are a big conspiracy to cover up how brutal December is. It stinks.
Maybe. I got to think about the 5th month, though. But good job. There's your Cinco de Lunch show. Every day right around lunchtime. Let's get back to your phone calls. 888-808-1019. Matt's in the Bronx. Hey, Matt.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All's good, dude.
Good. What's up?
Hey, listen, I want to go back. I know we completely changed the subject, but I want to go back to the whole Olympics and WBC and what to root for.
Yeah.
Listen, just a small back story. I'm a Puerto Rican male living in the Bronx who's a Yankee fan. I cannot stand Lindor and at the time Edwin Diaz, but when they wearing that Puerto Rican uniform, I am blowing all types of trumpets, and I'm the biggest Lindor fan. So in 2023, when Puerto Rico was playing Dominican Republic and Edwin Diaz came on the mound, man, I was rooting for that man like if I was a Met fan. And when he got hurt, I didn't know if I should be happy or upset. I mean, of course, not happy. I don't want to,
I know what you mean.
Pray on anyone's downfall with injury, but you know what I mean? Like, but he's not going to continue in Puerto Rico, but he's not going to play for the Mets. So when it comes to nationality, you also got to think about it. You know, these games or these tournaments happen every 3 years, every 4 years. So when it comes around, it's like the stakes are so much higher that you have to root for your country.
Yeah, because if you don't and you miss out, then you got to wait for if you care. I think that's what Sean's point ultimately is, though. Most people just don't care. They don't care about waiting 4 years because they didn't care that they won or lost.
I think that people care. I think it just varies. Like, I think there are Americans who care about the WBC, about Team USA. I think there are Americans who care about the Olympics. It's not everybody. I mean, you're going to hear it when the WBC starts. I don't think you're going to get that same enthusiasm from some.
I just think there's degrees of care is all I'm saying. I'm not telling you don't care about the Olympics, but you don't care in a way you do on the main teams we talk about here on the station.
Will is in Union Square. What's up, Will?
Listen, I'm great. Let me tell you, this is the best list Sean ever did. Okay. The only thing is, I'll exchange April and put November in there because that's when it starts to get cold. And Evan, you should be ashamed of yourself putting August in there.
August is ass. I mean, it really is. It's way too hot. I'm sick of
travel. You go someplace else.
Yeah, where it's hot. No matter where you go, it's hot.
Yeah, but then you're in the water, man. Wouldn't you rather be in the water than under the covers?
No,
you could
not
go
really.
outside. Here's the thing: you could go outside in August. You can't go outside in these other months.
So here's why February, March, and August are the same. A part of why I hate it is I'm done with it. Yeah. When it first happens, it's exciting. Like, I like November. I disagree with Will. Oh, it's cool. I put a sweater on. This is great.
Right.
By the time you get to February, it's like, I'm out. By the time you get to August and it's another 90-degree day, spare me.
Yeah, because it starts in July.
Yes.
But that's the thing. We're only on month 2 of that. By the time you get to February, you're on month 3.
But that's
of the
why
cold.
February is also on the list.
Exactly. Yeah. Andrew's in Manhattan. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Loving the show so far.
Thank you.
Big listener. So, first of all, yes, Evan, I wanted to agree with you. This winter has been brutal. I'm usually a 4-season guy, but this has been awful. Yeah. To my point here, I wanted to prove you wrong. You said something about Tom Brady earlier, and I have a crazy hypothetical for you that I think you're going to agree with me. I'm a big Jets fan as well.
All right.
If, when Bo Nix got hurt, Tom Brady's not an owner, he's not on Fox Sports, and somehow they pick him up, and he starts in the AFC Championship game, tell me you are not rooting for him to destroy the Patriots.
You are a freaking genius.
You already know.
He nailed it. I would absolutely have been rooting for Tom Brady. You named it. That's the one scenario. To stick it to the Patriots in the AFC Championship game, yes, I would have. You know what? You got me. Besides him being on my team, because obviously I'll get over whoever's on my team. I'll yell about it. I'll scream about it. I won't like it. I rooted for Tom Glavine. I'll get over it. But yes, he absolutely nailed it. If Tom Brady,
if he has a chance to beat and embarrass his former team to your benefit as a root againster of the Patriots, you would root for Tom Brady.
No doubt.
You'd already know.
If the Bucs played the Patriots in the Super Bowl, even after he first left, I would have rooted for Tom Brady.
You already know.
And in that scenario, that's the easiest root for Tom Brady ever. Like him just joining the Denver Broncos and being like, I gotcha. And just the pain that would cause Patriot fans, that is, I got to tell you, call of the year.
Could you imagine the ratings for a game that Tom Brady faces the Patriots in an AFC title game, too?
That would have been crazy. Bob's in Keyport. Hey, Bob.
How you doing? Sean, I have one question on your list.
Yeah.
Why do you have to make it a whole fancy list? Why can't you just say the winter sucks?
Well, I could have said that, but it's sponsored.
I mean, but you know
said
what?
All the months from.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said all the months from December through April.
Yeah.
That's the winter. It sucks.
Thanks for picking up on that, Bob.
He is kind of right.
All right. I'll redo it. Winter sucks. It's brought to you by Helix Wireless, connecting everything everywhere.
Well, don't use the sponsor as a cover here. Like maybe what he's trying to tell you is that was a waste of time. That your lunch show wasn't good enough because all it was you taking 2.5 minutes to explain winter sucks.
Especially all of us up here who know that winter sucks.
Do I need to explain
especially
radio to Bob?
This winter?
Yeah.
Are you going to do the radio thing?
Yeah, like that's the build-up. Is he going to give me a summer month? No, it ends up being all fun winter.
You think anybody thought you were given a summer month?
You never know.
Especially after this winter.
Well, this is the first time I can get a list where everybody could agree with me.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see where that list ranks at the end of the year. I've mentioned before I'm categorizing all of Sean's Cinco. So just in case you've missed any this week, Monday was the non-Big Four sporting events I want to go to.
That was a good one.
Tuesday was the top non-Hall of Famers that would raise our team's ceilings.
Also a good one.
That wasn't bad. Yesterday was restaurants we will miss or we're about to miss.
That one got a lot of interaction.
Yes. And then today was worst months of the year. So that's
not for nothing. For a dead week, I have been bringing the heat.
I can't wait till tomorrow.
By the way, update on the poll that I put out yesterday.
Yes.
You know what dominated.
Well, let me explain the poll.
The poll.
Tiki
so,
Barber.
For those that missed it,
yes, go
didn't
ahead.
talk about this yesterday. I have not tweeted in almost 2 years.
Yes.
And the tweet I put out yesterday, after I figured out my password, was, when you think of Wendy's, what do you think of first from their menu?
Yes.
It was a Frosty.
Yep.
A spicy chicken sandwich.
Yes, that was my nominee.
And then the junior bacon cheeseburger.
That was Sean's nominee.
Yes. And the Frosty dominated.
52% said they think of the Frosty, 30% said junior bacon, and only 18% were with me on spicy chicken sandwich. So a clear-cut victory for Tiki Barber.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Will you tweet again now?
No.
It didn't open up the...
One and done.
One and done.
Didn't really enjoy it.
Come on.
Enough to care.
The best is anybody that doesn't listen to the show will see that and be like, when was the last time Tiki tweeted? It'll be 2 years from now. He popped in once every 2 years to tweet about Wendy's?
That is true. Like, if you're following Tiki, you must be so confused and you don't listen to the show. More of your calls coming up in this 1 o'clock hour, 888-808-1019. Yesterday, I made a list, a power ranking list, a big board list of Jets quarterbacks. A lot of listeners did not like it. They thought I'm an idiot. So I went to an independent arbitrator to see if it actually was a good list. We'll fill you in coming up. Evan and Tiki here on The Fan.
Fanatics Fest, the world's #1 sports fan festival, returns to the Javits Center in New York City from July 16th to the 19th. See celebrities and athletes from all your favorite leagues, including Aaron Judge, Tom Brady, Jalen Brunson, Diana Taurasi, Mike Tyson, and so many more. Live panels, autographs, photo ops, rare trading cards, and memorabilia, plus exclusive merch drops you can only get at Fanatics Fest. This is the ultimate weekend where sports and culture collide. Tickets are on sale now and will sell out, so grab yours early at fanaticsfest.com. That's fanaticsfest.com.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
He wants to be there, but you'd think the way some Pittsburgh Penguins fans are reacting, he was being dragged out onto the ice by Team Canada by his toenails. The only thing that may eclipse Sidney Crosby's love of hockey is his love of country. And it's unsettling for Penguins fans to see their captain get hurt in the Olympics. I get it. But it would be equally surprising if Crosby didn't do everything in his power to be back out on the ice again tomorrow, because that's exactly what he wants. I'm Chris Mack.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
201-450-4263. Hi, I'm Dr. Glenn Gedgerman, and that's my cell phone number. If you've been recently diagnosed with prostate cancer, please call me directly at 201-450-4263. For more than 20 years, my team and I have helped prostate cancer patients at John Theurer Cancer Center's Radiation Oncology Department, now one of the largest programs of its kind in New Jersey. If you have prostate cancer, call my cell, day or night, at 201-450-4263. That's 201-450-4263. At John Theurer Cancer Center, we use TomoTherapy's unique guided radiotherapy to precisely focus on the prostate gland. Our treatments can be safely completed in a shorter period of time with fewer side effects and better sexual function. Call my cell at 201-450-4263. I'll make sure you're seen within 48 hours. John Theurer Cancer Center, a division of Hackensack Meridian Health.
At Citizens, we help make sense of your money and all your money questions.
Do I keep renting or finally buy?
Do I plan for a vacation or plan for a renovation?
How big of a nest should my nest egg be?
If money talks, what's it say to me?
Is cash still king?
Wait, when did a dollar slice go up to $3?
Whatever money questions you have, Citizens has the answers. Make sense of your money at citizensbank.com/made-ready. Member FDIC.
With Grubhub, there's no fees on restaurant orders over $50. You eat the food, Grubhub will eat the fees.
Wait. Grubhub is going to eat the fees?
Wait, like the receipts? It's a metaphor for how Grubhub is doing away with fees. No delivery fees, no service fees, no rainy day fees.
But what if it rains? Can I still order delivery? Please!
You can still get any type of food delivered without getting off the couch.
In that case, what about the no pants fee?
Well, I've never heard of that one, but I guess we'll eat that too. No fees on restaurant orders over $50, only on Grubhub.
Grubhub will eat the fees!
Details at Grubhub.com.
My buddy dies, I show up to the funeral, open casket. We're still doing that? I've never understood open casket. I don't get it. It's like, you told me he was dead. I believed you.
From the Monday Morning Podcast, his hit film Old Dads, and his latest Grammy-nominated special on Hulu, comedian Bill Burr, coming to Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Atlantic City, Saturday, April 25th, with all new material. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Ink card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Ink Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu, the daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire, nobody.
Get breaking sports news here. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, an Odyssey sports station.
Yesterday, you're on Evan and Tiki, and if you missed it, you can download it in the podcast, the Evan and Tiki podcast. I worked so hard for a week straight on building a New York Jets quarterback big board. And I did that through not just free agency, but guys who will probably be available via trade. So we included guys who are under contract with other teams, but they're likely to be cut or traded. Guys like Kyler Murray, guys like Tua, the kid in Philadelphia, Tanner McKee.
Yeah.
And so I took these 25 names and I power ranked them. And we talked about it yesterday. And a few people called up and said, I'm on some illicit drug or I'm an idiot or whatever.
Right.
Same thing on social media. What an awful list. What's wrong with you? Blah, 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 blah. And my counter is, I'm not saying it's perfect, but if you have a better list, supply it. It is not easy. The Jets are not in an ideal situation when it comes to the quarterback spot.
The Jets are a sewer.
So to attack my list isn't really fair. It's more of an attack on the Jets.
Right.
So what I decided to do, because the echo chamber of social media or sports talk radio is mostly negative, is I took my list.
Mm-hmm.
I took it, and I sent it to ChatGPT. And this is exactly how I phrased it.
Right.
I ranked my preferences for the Jets quarterback in 2026 using a grade scale. How do you think I did ranking my preferred Jets quarterbacks? And then I supplied 1 through 25.
Okay.
How do you think ChatGPT said I did?
I think they have no idea, and so they just fluffed you up.
What does that mean?
They just propped you up, said, great job, Evan.
Okay.
You were fantastic.
Okay.
I think you nailed your picks.
Okay.
It told you what you wanted to hear.
Okay. Your ranking shows a thoughtful attempt to align preferences with what Frank Reich tends to value in quarterbacks. Traditional pocket presence, accuracy, timing, toughness, and footwork.
You didn't do that at all.
You did. Why? Because of Anthony Richardson being number one?
Exactly.
Quote, you did a solid job overall.
Told you, fluff piece.
I'll give your list a B+ on the grade scale. And then it listed my strengths, like where it loved my list.
Oh, God.
For
AI
example,
is so terrible.
Jacoby Brissett being in the top 10, spot on. Tua Tagovailoa, Tua
Tagovailoa
being at number 5, really solid.
Even though he sucked last year and got benched.
Derek Carr at number 3, really good ranking. You want to know where they said it sucked?
Where?
Areas for improvement. Kirk Cousins is way too low at 18.
Way too low.
Like bad.
Yeah.
Like I didn't give him a good enough ranking.
Right.
This stands out as the biggest miss. Come on, Evan. Cousins is a classic Frank Reich fit. Accurate, timing-based, pocket-oriented veteran
By the
with
way,
experience.
I think that's right. I agree with that.
I have a feel. Now, you want to hear the other critiques?
Go ahead.
Kyler Murray at number 4 feels way too optimistic. While an explosive playmaker, that heavy mobility reliance clashes with Frank Reich's reliance on traditional pocket preference. And then the other misses, this is why the B plus is odd, is they strongly disagree with me ranking Anthony Richardson number 1 and Malik Willis number 2. Well, hold on a second.
Okay,
If you
Richardson, I
think-
get. What's the critique of Willis?
While their tools are tantalizing for a developmental upside play and both get some mentions in broader Jets trade and free agent chatter, they do not match Frank Reich's ideal mold. So that was their issue.
So it's more about the fit with Frank Reich.
Yes. But what I find funny is if they don't like my 1 and my 2 and my 4.
Yeah, how the hell did you get a B+?
How did I get a B+? It's almost like they are fluffing me up.
It is.
While telling me I'm an idiot. Russell Wilson at 20 was also a major miss by me. He should be higher. Kiss my ass with that.
Did you not watch him? Gronk?
Yeah, come on. Carson Wentz at 19 also should have been higher. They also supplied their list.
No, they didn't.
I'm not kidding you.
I got to hear this.
Here's their top 4. Okay, now again.
They only did 4.
They did the top 4.
Okay.
Actually, they rank it fully. It's just that I can give you their top 10.
Okay.
Number 1 on the quarterback big board for the New York Jets. I can't believe this one. Like, this one really surprises me that of all the people they could have picked as number 1, and again, I picked Anthony Richardson at number 1, and I had Malik Willis at number 2. Give me a guess who they put at number 1.
I'm going to say, who had the most success last year? I'm going to say Kirk Cousins.
They did not have Kirk Cousins number 1. Mr. President, who was number 1?
Tua Tagovailoa.
Really?
Tua was number 1.
He got benched last year.
Number 2 was Kirk Cousins, which shows a bias towards you in that view. And number 3 was Derek Carr, which is the same ranking I had. So we were very much together on Derek Carr. And then it was Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, Mac Jones, Carson Wentz. And then lower on the list was Anthony Richardson, Malik Willis, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
They were in the bottom 10. I had them at 1-2.
You didn't even include Mac Jones, though.
I did.
You did?
Absolutely. Mac Jones was on my list. Let me go look at what number he was. Yeah.
Oh, wait, you did. That's right.
I have a big board, bro. I don't mess around with
But
my
I thought
big board.
because he wasn't getting traded. That's just what they're saying.
No. By the way, I had him at number 6. I actually showed great respect for Mac Jones.
Right.
Yeah. No, so the story with Mac Jones in terms of is he going to be traded or not is that, they have come out. Kyle Shanahan, I think his quote was, we're not in the business of trading good players. But I think many have viewed it as a negotiation tactic that enough teams, and I saw Mike Florio make this point, it's a good one, that enough teams are going to view the success of Sam Darnold and say, Mac Jones isn't that different.
We can make a similar leap with Mac.
Yeah, especially if we have talent elsewhere. So I did respect Mac Jones. I had him at number 6. So, yeah, it's odd. I think that the AI basically said I'm an idiot, but then gave me a good grade. That's how I took it, because they
disagreed with the top and then said, but you did a good job.
Well, we agreed on Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, we agreed on Derek Carr and Tua basically being in the top 5 or top 8. And then everything else was a major disagreement. And they probably, but what are you smiling about? You agree with AI?
No, the Mets just came out their promo schedule.
Oh, did they? That's big news for me.
Well, do you want to continue your conversation before we get to this?
I'm just going to tell you real quick. Right before the show started, I talked to my new Met ticket representative because he was very nice. He was introducing himself. And I said to him, my only question is, when the hell is this promo schedule coming out? And he said, I think it's going to be any day. And I said, cool.
Oh,
so it's
now.
So the fact it came out a few hours later is very important.
Oh, he didn't lie to you.
Yeah, they put out March through June. Okay?
That's stupid. Put the whole thing
All
out.
right. Well, either way, I just want to tell you.
Well, they might not have figured it out yet.
No, figure it out.
They got so many new players.
I think I found the best one.
The best one?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say it is Juan Soto basketball jersey.
No. I'm going to guess it has to do with honoring the 86 team. Am I right?
No. Friday, May 29th. You plan on going to that game?
No. Damn it.
Friday, May 29th.
Isn't that Memorial Day weekend? Or is that the week after? Oh, it's the week after.
Right.
We're good.
Yeah.
30, 34. Yeah, because
We're
that'll be
good.
June 1st.
Now, we're good. I think I can go to that game. What's up?
Friday, May 29th is Bobby Valentine disguise night.
Oh.
Tell me that's not a great
Dude,
one.
that's
That is
the winner.
a great one.
You got me.
Yes, that's unbelievable.
So is it just the typical nose and glasses thing that he wore?
Right. So I don't have a picture here. It's the list. I have the email
Bobby
list.
Valentine.
So what is that going to be? Are they going to give like glasses with that mustache?
That's my assumption, which I think is like a famous thing.
Right.
So maybe it has a Met logo on it or something.
So I'll just rip through a couple. That's my favorite
It
one.
could be a hat. It could be a hat with the glasses and the mustache connected. So it's just one thing you put on your head.
And that's
it's a Mets hat, but it also has the glasses and the mustache.
And that's what they did with the hat hair for Noah Syndergaard and Jacob deGrom many years ago. It was such a great giveaway. It was a Met hat, and then it was either deGrom's long hair prior to him cutting it or Noah's long blonde hair. And I thought it was one of the great giveaways of all time.
Yeah, this is an unreal one. Okay, so you mentioned the 86. The two they've listed, Saturday, March 28th, that first weekend, 1986 World Series Championship replica ring.
Yes, I'm excited about that one. I had heard that because they had announced it a few days ago, but that one is tremendous.
And Tuesday, May 26th, 1986 World Series retro T-shirt.
That's a good one.
So a T-shirt that looks like it was from
How about
86.
the actual, are they going to have a ceremony to honor them?
I know they are, but this is not listed
They
in
didn't
this
announce
whole
that
thing.
yet?
And maybe...
Wouldn't it make sense to be one of those days?
No, you spread that baby out.
And I'm sure there's going to be more 86 giveaways in the second half of the year.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Spread that thing out, man.
There are multiple Juan Soto bobbleheads this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We have a Juan Soto 40-30 bobblehead on Saturday, April 11th.
What does that even mean?
I
What is
Wait,
he
didn't he
stealing
go
a base?
40?
No.
No,
He
it's
just
40-30.
missed it?
He didn't steal the 40 bases. He had 40-plus home
right.
runs, and I think he's still 38.
So
if I'm not
whatever that
mistaken.
means, a 40-30 bobblehead. And then there's a Juan Soto baseball card bobblehead on Thursday, June 25th.
By the way, is 40-30 a thing?
No.
Yeah.
No, the Mets are making it up for that.
That is, come on.
And for your lovely wife, on June 22nd, it is Mets Purse Night.
Oh, I like that. All right, thank
There
you.
you go.
Sean.
Oh,
All
and
right.
Marcus Simeon has a replica jersey.
Why not? People got to get rid of the Brandon Nimmo jerseys and the Pete Alonso jerseys. All right, well, thank you very much for sharing that. Anyhow, back to your calls. 888-808. Is that the number? Yeah, 888-808-1019. You know what threw me off about the number?
What have you been saying all day?
No, I've been saying it all day, but yesterday we played a WFAN flashback of Joe B opening up the show the day after the Mets won the World Series, and he gave the old number.
Sunday, Bloody Sunday. Opening.
Yes. And he gave the old number. And for whatever reason, that number has now been in my head. Do you remember what that number was? I can only do it as Joe for some reason.
No, I don't.
877-337.
I felt violated.
6666. Yeah. Do you remember the original number?
No.
718.
Yeah, I knew it was Queen. I knew it was 718.
Does anyone have that number? Like, if you called that number, the old WFAN number, would anyone pick it up as a 718 number?
Call it, Sean.
You want me to call it?
Yeah, call it right now. Carrie, I feel bad if it's like someone who has it.
I know.
Because they probably get like calls every once in a while, especially from our older listeners.
Hey,
who are
can I
like,
get on with Evan and Tiki?
if it is a person, I would love to like ask them, do you get, I'd like to go on the air with Keith McPherson right now. I'd like to go on the air with Al Cintron at like 2 a.m. They get a phone call. Like, hey, I'd like to go on what?
I was hoping to play it. The number you dialed is not in service.
So they've never given it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Maybe they gave it out once and somebody went back to the store and was like, you cannot give this number.
I got to admit, I kind of want the number.
Why?
I kind of want the number.
Why would you want the number?
Because
now random, everybody will have your phone number.
Well, I wouldn't announce it's my number, but like it would be cool to have that number. And then
all it's going to take is one person calling you randomly, like Sean just did, you picking up or getting your voicemail, and someone on Twitter or social media or Reddit is going to say, Evan Roberts' phone number is 718-8, whatever it is.
Evan, is this you using the tickets for the Diamondbacks on Tuesday?
Could I get that number, though? Like, if I went to Verizon and said, hey, because what's funny is I'll give this away. My cell phone number is still from Maryland. I haven't lived in Maryland since 2004, right? But I never changed my cell phone.
Yeah.
I had made enough contacts where I just didn't want to change it.
Right.
So if I decided, you know what? I know everyone I need to know. I'm changing my number. Could I go to a phone company and request the old WFAN number?
I don't know if you can request numbers.
Is it like getting a vanity plate at the DMV?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
I think you can request it, just the likelihood of it being available is small.
Why would it? It's available, clearly.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying. And just in general. Like, if I went and say, hey, man, can I get what's my area? 646 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Right? It's one too many numbers,
Right.
but you know what I mean. Like, there's no way I could get that.
I agree, but this number in particular is available. That's why I'm like, because I'd be interested in it. I may make a phone call after this show.
Are you?
I think so. More out of curiosity than anything. Like, can I have this number?
I love that they would go through the hoops of saying, all right, we got it for you. And you go, and I just wanted to know if it was available.
No, I think I would do it. Not maybe changing my number. Maybe that's going too far. But like as a burner phone?
Right.
Like Kevin Durant's got burner Twitter accounts. Why can't I have a burner phone? Yeah, why not? Tim is in Montville. What's going on, Tim?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Circle back to the hockey thing. I know why Sean hates America at the moment, and it's because the Rangers play harder for their team than they do for their country than they do for the team that paid them.
That is you know what, Tim?
A solid point.
Your team is very good.
That's a good point. Can you deny that?
Oh, I could tell Tim's not watching the games because I can assure you JT Miller and Vincent Trocheck have been the two worst players on Team USA, and they are still playing the same way they played on the Rangers.
Joe is in Jersey City. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Evan. Hey, Tiki. How you guys doing today?
All's good, man.
Good.
Yeah, man, good. Evan, I just wanted to help you out with your AI searches here, man. It is definitely going to give you a biased response if you're saying that the search is coming from you. So if you're going to do these type of searches, I would suggest saying it's from like a coworker or a friend of yours, and you'll get a much more measured response from
That's
the
a
tool.
great point.
Because Joe, as Joe is, I think, alluding to,
Yeah.
it wants to please you.
You're
AI
right.
wants to please you.
You know what? Because I did term it as I ranked my preferences.
Right.
So I would have to say a guy I know.
Yes.
I could go negative and say
or just make it neutral. Just say rank this Jet quarterback preferences.
That's true. So don't offer anything.
Yeah, just make it as simple as possible.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going during our next break. I'm going to ask AI it that way and just see if the grade's very different. If all of a sudden it goes to a D-, then you've kind of nailed it.
It might kind of know that you're asking again in a separate way.
You think so?
Of course.
Then maybe I put a name to it and say Sean Morash is ranking Jet quarterbacks.
Right.
How would you grade this list?
Right.
Maybe they would offer a different view. Andrew in Eastchester. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Ev, I don't think you could get the fan number from a cell carrier, but if you went to like a Google or like, let's say, phone through like the cable companies, I think you can do it. I wanted to do that when I moved out of my childhood home, and I was like, you know what? Let me just move on,
Right.
Leave the past in the past. But I do think it's an option, though.
All right. I may have to look into that. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Back to the baseball stuff. I think it's fascinating. I don't think a floor is talked about as much as it should be. Maybe because the cap is just the mechanics are easy. Here's the max you can spend. You either can't go over it, or you go over, and we're going to tax you.
Yeah.
But in terms of a floor, it's interesting. It's like, how do they calculate the number? And then it's like, all right, we look at the revenue sharing, and we look at how much Team X makes, and then if there's a gap, they tell these owners, hey, you got to do what you got to do, whether it's raising prices or whether they got to dig into their own pockets. I mean, me personally, as a Yankee fan, I'm tired of my Yankee dollars, and I'm sure the Yankees are tired of their Yankee dollars subsidizing all these small market teams.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think a floor is talked about anywhere near as much as it should. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah. And what the owners are going to try to do, because here's the problem. The owners and the players are going to say stuff to you, and it's going to be BS. And we called Chris Bassett out earlier for his comments about, well, baseball's got more power to you than every other sport.
Mm-hmm.
It does, but not for the reasons you're giving. What the owners will do, and I think Rob Manfred has done this before, whether it was on the air with Craig and Big Mac or other interviews, is he says so innocently, we've offered a floor.
Right.
But they don't want it. What he's leaving out is the reason they've said no to a floor is they believe it comes with a cap.
Right.
And so the players are saying no, not to the floor. They're saying no to the inevitability that you're going to push a cap on it. And so Rob Manfred isn't lying to you. He's misleading you. Chris Bassett isn't lying to you. He's misleading you.
Right.
And we, as the poor fans, have to read through their BS. And that's a tough spot to be in.
Of course it is.
I just asked ChatGPT how he would rank this list, who was created by someone else.
Yep.
And it goes from a B+ to a B. Huh. So it went down a little bit. So I guess I got the extra plus out of it.
Right.
How important is tonight's Knicks game against the Pistons? We tell you the truth next here on Evan and Tiki.
If you're looking to level up your wardrobe, check out Collars & Co. You might have seen them on Shark Tank where they landed a deal with Mark Cuban. They're the team behind the dress collar polo that sold over 1 million shirts. Now they've launched the new Maverick Performance Blazer, and this thing is legit. Sharp, lightweight, and completely wrinkle-resistant, making it perfect for travel. Just pack it up, and it comes out looking fresh. You get smart features like security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So hit up collarsandco.com. Use code Tiki for 20% off at collarsandco.com.
This portion of the program is sponsored by Downtown Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. It's also sponsored by Kalshi. Trade on anything. The MMA fight is Saturday, and you can trade on it nationwide on Kalshi. Hernandez is trading at 70% to beat Strickland. That means a $100 trade on Strickland pays out $333 with a win. Download the Kalshi app and use code FAN to get $10 when you trade $100. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Hey, healthcare workers of New York, are you looking to make a difference? Downtown Brooklyn Nursing and Rehabilitation Center is actively hiring nurses and CNAs. Call 718-636-1000. That's 718-636-1000.
I'm Pat Boyle, here to help you beat the books with Western One Sports. The NBA is back, and right away the Knicks have a chance to atone for their past 2 disgraceful efforts against the Detroit Pistons. I'm not ready to believe just yet that Knicks get a decisive victory, but I am ready to believe in Mitchell Robinson dominating the shorthanded front court of the Pistons. Jalen Duren and that psycho Isaiah Stewart are still out from that brawl with the Hornets, so Robinson has a great chance to eat on the boards tonight. I'm going over on Mitch and his rebounds. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
For 100 years, London Jewelers has been part of life's most meaningful moments. From engagements and anniversaries to milestones, big and small, they've helped mark the moments that matter most to their customers. Generations of families have trusted London Jewelers for exceptional craftsmanship, timeless design, and service that lasts a lifetime. As they celebrate a century of excellence, they thank you for being a part of their story, and they look forward to the moments still to come. They invite you to visit London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations. London Jewelers, celebrating 100 years of brilliance.
Ready to ramp up the excitement, golf fans? BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets even better with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll take your stake back if they finish second. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds.
Hey sports fans, when it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. During the big games this season, toast your friends and your team with a Dew and a brew. At home or at your favorite sports bar. Because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. 40% alcohol by volume. William Grant & Sons, New York, New York.
Looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Get to Town Fair Tire for Michelin's Cross Climate tires, offering a design that delivers an exceptional level of long-lasting performance throughout the tire's lifespan. Plus, Town Fair gives you more free services than anywhere else. For the guaranteed lowest price and your best deal on Michelin Cross Climate tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Make
Make the smart choice, the Mazda CX-5. With standard all-wheel drive, advanced safety, and effortless handling. There's more to a Mazda than meets the eye. Lease your 2025 Mazda CX-5 for only $209 a month and elevate your journey wherever the road takes you. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
If you're still living with bunion pain, it might be time to break up with your bunion. Because when bunions are ignored, they don't get better, they often get worse. Over time, they can lead to joint damage and arthritis. Once a bunion becomes too severe, minimally invasive options may no longer be possible. I'm Dr. Manningat. Early treatment can make a big difference, helping you feel better every day. Break up with your bunion and take the first step towards healthier, pain-free feet. Call us today at 877-5FASTER or visit allianceortho.com to schedule your appointment today.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
At Citizens, we help make sense of your money and all your money questions.
Do I keep renting or finally buy?
Do I plan for a vacation or plan for a renovation?
How big of a nest should my nest egg be?
If money talks, what's it say to me?
Is cash still king?
Wait, when did a dollar slice go up to $3?
Whatever money questions you have, Citizens has the answers. Make sense of your money at citizensbank.com/made-ready. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Tiki. Back when I played, creatine was a locker room secret. Players knew, trainers knew, fans didn't. But now the secret's out. Creatine boosts strength, speeds up recovery, and even helps brain health. That's why I take GAT Sports' new Creatine Chews. 5 grams per serving, no sugar, no shaker, no mess. Save 30% off your first bottle at gatsport.com with code TIKI30. That's GAT Sport.com with code TIKI30. GAT Sport Creatine Chews. Fuel up, compete harder.
This February at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel, love is in the air with our $100,000 Roll into Romance drawing. Be here on Fridays in February from 3 to 7 p.m. when each hour one lucky guest is drawn to roll the dice for a shot at winning up to $5,000. Earn entry starting at 2 p.m. Club members can earn up to 5 times entry multipliers at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
No matter the season, New York sports never stop. Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets. If it's happening, we're talking about it. The Fan, 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
The Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. The NBA is back in business tonight. The Nets go to Cleveland to take on James Harden and the Cavs in a game that can be heard right here on The Fan. And tonight, the Knicks get their post-All-Star game stretch at home started at 7:30 versus the top dog in the East, the Pistons.
And they're shorthanded because of the suspensions.
Yes.
We mentioned that last week. You'd almost forget about it by the time we got to Thursday. It's interesting because the Knicks are playing the Pistons tonight for the final time in the regular season. Obviously, so far, the regular season has not gone well.
No.
And there is certainly a segment of Knicks fans who put a real value on tonight's game. In fact, if I had to pick, this is a tough one. Who speaks for Knicks fans? A lot of Knicks fans at this radio station, a lot of Knicks fans in the world, like,
it's not me.
It's not you.
Is it Sean? It's not Sean.
Is it Tommy?
I think it's Tommy.
It's not Tommy.
Who is it?
Is it Craig? It's not Craig. I think whether you guys like it or not, the person that speaks for Knicks fans is Stephen A. Smith. So, Stephen A., is tonight an important game?
You cannot lose this game. If you lose this game at the Garden, even though it's the regular season, at the Garden, without Duran and Stewart, I'm going to lose all hope.
Lose all hope. It's a lose all hope game.
The New York Knicks are trash.
Now I want to calm everybody down.
Yes.
He does not speak for Knicks fans, okay?
No.
I was having fun. With that said, that opinion, if it is a real Knicks fan out there who has it, and there are Knicks fans out there who may view this as a quote-unquote big game, it's not.
How can you have that when you know that that's not necessarily true? Because we saw it last year with the Boston Celtics.
I know.
It's the same thing.
Like last year when I argued it, it was like an uphill battle. Because I'm speaking about a team that clearly looks better than you. They've won a championship. How could you possibly say it doesn't matter?
Right.
And then it didn't matter and you won. So I don't know how a year later anybody could look at the regular season and say, by the way, I tell you, if we don't win this game, all hope is lost.
We are the New York Knicks.
Like, it's crazy to me. But let's hear from Mike Brown, the head coach of the New York Knicks, who met the media yesterday. Two parts. The first part is, is there importance to winning this game or importance to it having extra meaning because of what's happened in the first two games? The Pistons have blown them out.
Right, 31 and 38.
Yes. So, Coach Brown, does this game have any extra meaning?
Yeah, it should. They didn't just win the game. They beat us pretty bad, and so for us, and again, I don't like to say that this game is more important than the next game. Every game is extremely important, but there comes a certain point when you're in competition, if the wins and losses are as lopsided as those two losses, that should shake you up a little bit.
It's interesting. Now, he goes on to echo our point. More from Mike Brown.
At the end of the day, if we win tomorrow or win the next two games or how many games we play them, that doesn't necessarily guarantee we're going to beat them come playoff time or vice versa. I'm a firm believer in that. I've been around this thing too long to see some teams go 0-4 and still win the series, or some teams go 3-4 and still win the series. So that part doesn't matter. It's just about how the first two games turned out against us.
So he's kind of doing both things. Like he's telling you, if we lose this game, and Mike Brown doesn't seem to know, and he's admitted he doesn't know the schedule, so I'll help him out. This is your last regular season game against the Detroit Pistons.
That's right.
You only play them 3 times this season. That's it. Postseason, it starts anew. So if he thinks there's another game after this against them, there's not.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. And he admitted that. I remember we played that a few weeks ago. So in one breath, he's telling you, hey, we got embarrassed in the first two games, man. There's a pride standpoint here. We got to show up. But in the next breath, he is saying what I'm saying and you're saying, which is, look, if they lose this game, it doesn't mean anything in terms of the second season.
No, because you ultimately get into the postseason and these stakes are different. The urgency's different. You're not, if you're getting destroyed in the middle of the third quarter, you're not kind of resting guys waiting for whatever comes next. You have to win now in the postseason. It's not necessarily the case in the regular season. Even this game does feel important, even if it's just symbolic from a Knicks standpoint, especially given that their two big guys are out the front court. So I do feel like the Knicks need to prioritize winning this game. But if they don't, are we going to sit here and say they're so flawed that they can't win in the postseason? The answer is no. I mean, we're still going to believe that they can.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be some who look at the game and look at the loss and say, oh, God, we can't beat the Pistons.
Right.
Like, we already have a bias in this regard. And I've heard a lot of Knicks fans say this. In fact, I would say the majority of Knicks fans have said this statement. We'll beat the Celtics. We'll beat the Sixers. We'll beat the Raptors. We'll beat the Magic. We'll beat the Cavs. But the Pistons scare me. And the reason you say that is because what's happened in these first two games.
Just because the Pistons play so physical.
Yeah.
And it feels like the Knicks don't. And it shows itself when they play each other.
I will tell you something interesting, and I want to fact check myself as I say it, but I'm pretty sure watching these two games that Jalen Duren has not played the Knicks this season. Like in those two previous games.
Right.
And I'm going to check his game logs real quick because I got to make sure I'm just not making crap up. We believe in facts around here. Dazzy played the New York Knicks, all right? 121-90 back on January 5th. He was inactive, 1-for-1. And February 6th, he was also inactive. So I am correct.
So they beat the Knicks' ass without him anyways.
Right, and he's not playing tonight.
Right.
And you heard Stephen A. Smith, without him. They've already got their ass kicked without him.
That's right.
I believe, I'll give you this prediction, I think the Knicks are going to win tonight. I do. And I think a lot of it is, even though, yes, Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns played in the All-Star game, I think this is a rested team. OG is likely to play tonight.
Right.
I think he's finally over the toenail issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that
he's dealing with the pain. You're not over a whatever ripped off toenail.
All right, I apologize
because it doesn't grow back in 2 weeks.
Well,
he's just toughened up. He's become a man in the last 2
Be a
years.
man.
Be a man.
Be a man.
I think the Knicks will win tonight. And I think a part of why they're going to win tonight is something Mike Brown hit on, which is there is pride in this sport.
Yeah.
And the fact that they've been blown out and been non-competitive in the first 2 games, I think that this will be viewed, especially by the players, as we got to show something tonight. And I think they will. And you know what that means at the end of the day? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to tell you that.
Right.
And that's the funny thing, I guess, about regular season basketball sometimes. We over-exaggerate the wins and we over-exaggerate the losses. The key to the New York Knicks going on a postseason run is being healthy at the right time.
Well, look, tomorrow, depending on the result of this game, if the Knicks win, I think we're just going to say, all right, whatever. See, we told you. They can win. They're not necessarily they're always going to get beat by the Pistons. But if they lose, especially if it's in somewhat of a similar fashion.
It's going to be an uphill battle for me?
Well, people are going to start screaming. They have no chance.
Yeah.
They don't know how to beat the Pistons. They're not physical enough.
You know, I am such a weird human being, and I know that. I know I'm weird. I know I'm strange. Even when I told you the story about going to Disney with an ex, I get it. I understand it. The difference is, I guess, is that I don't really give a crap what people think. I'm just going to tell you what I am. But I'll tell you another thing of what I am. As much as I downplay the import of a game like tonight in terms of them beating Detroit in the playoffs, when I sit down tonight, I put the dual TVs on because I got Nets, Cavs, and I got the Knicks game on, I'm going to root passionately against the Knicks. As if it does mean something.
Why?
Because it's like in my nature to root against them, even though everything I'm saying I believe to you. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
And yet.
So you're comfortable being a Knick hater.
Well, I'm comfortable being a Knick hater, but I'm also comfortable, and the reason I bring this story up is that I am you guys. Like, I understand in the course of the battle, you're going to want to win.
Right.
Like, I am not telling anybody, don't watch the game tonight. It doesn't matter. Don't have passion. Of course I have passion. I have passion. I'm not even a Knick fan. I will sit down tonight. I will be glued to the game. I may even take out emotional insurance at some point in this game. What?
I haven't heard that all year.
Well,
are you that moved emotionally?
I don't like the Knicks.
But you think they're going to win, so how's it emotional?
Because at least I get paid if they win. That's the whole point of emotional insurance. What are you, new around here?
No, but the point of whatever.
You don't know the point.
If they win, are you going to be distraught? Are you not sleeping, having dreams about Michelle Obama? If they win,
can you provide context with the dream about Michelle Obama?
You're having the dreams.
Sorry,
you're finishing your dream.
Evan had a dream about Michelle. No, he had a dream about Doug Gottlieb, which then led to a meeting with Barack Obama, who then gave about your back.
Yeah, I have a back issue.
Yep. And then he gave Michelle's number to Evan and then told Evan that he could hook up with Michelle.
And then Evan dripped hot wax on her, and then he woke up.
That part didn't happen.
Right.
It ended with Barack saying, Michelle has back problems. You should talk to her. She told me, I'll take you to your next doctor's appointment. And it was innocent. It was very nice of her. Like, yeah, I'll take you. I'll show you what it's done. And then Barack looked at me and said, you know, you could have her if you want. And I'm like, that's weird. I have to go now.
In your library, Barack?
And then I woke up. The point is, I get the emotions of a game like tonight. I will be into it. But at the end of the day, it's not going to matter once these teams hook up in April, May, or June.
Right.
Hook up, huh?
In fact, I'll give you this prediction. I'm going to go long-term prediction. Can you write this one down?
I need to write it down. I got wing sauce all over my hands. Hold on.
I'll write it down.
I have a long-term prediction about the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons.
Okay. Evan, long-term prediction. Go ahead.
The New York Knicks will never face the Detroit Pistons in the postseason in 2026.
Whoa.
This will not happen. Just won't.
Wow.
Well, what is your prediction then?
I'm not getting into details on who gets picked off. Someone will.
But you have stared at the bracket and figured out seeding enough to know that they're not going to play. So what's your prediction?
Well, no. First of all, let me make that clear. Right now, the Knicks are the 3 seed, so they would not play Detroit until the conference finals. But they're only a game ahead of Cleveland for the 4 seed, where if they drop to 4-5, they would play them in the Eastern Conference semis.
So you're saying one of two things. Either the Knicks are getting beat before they get there, or the Pistons are getting beat.
That is correct. Yeah, one of those two things will happen.
Don't be a coward. Be a man. Like Susan said, be a man. Tell us.
I mean, I've made predictions at the beginning of the season. If you paid attention, you already know what I think.
Be a man.
But it's a new audience, Evan. It's 141. Be a man.
Be a man.
We were in afternoons when he made those predictions.
Detroit's getting knocked off.
Wow.
Only them?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that.
The Knicks are going to the NBA Finals.
I've said that since day one.
It's true.
That the Knicks are going to the NBA Finals.
You have
I
said
have
that.
not wavered. I have not moved. I'm not rooting for it, clearly. And I think that sometimes in sports, we get so set on a matchup that feels inevitable, and it never happens. And what I've also expressed about Detroit, and I have great respect for what they've done this season, is I am skeptical on teams who have not really kind of had that the mini run.
Right. The experience matters.
Yeah, experience matters. And so far, their only experience is losing a hard-fought first-round series to the New York Knicks last season. So the way I see it is they'll get out of the first round, and they're going to get knocked out in the Eastern Conference semis. And by the way, if the season ended today, it would be them facing either Cleveland or Toronto in the Eastern Conference semis.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that happening? I kind of see that happening.
Right.
Anyhow, that's a long-term prediction. So did you write that down?
I did.
Okay, cool. Thank you. 888-808-1019 is the toll-free number. Tom is in Babylon. Hey, Tom.
What's up, Tom?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
All's good.
I wanted to go over the, the cheering for the other team. So we went to the World Baseball Classic in Miami a few years ago. Brought my son, and USA played Venezuela. Now, we're big Met fans. During the game, I mean, we were looking for a Schwarber bomb. You know, we wanted Schwarber to hit a home run.
Right.
You know, and then Trey Turner hits a grand slam basically to win the game. And my son's jumping up and down saying, I'm buying a Trey Turner jersey.
Whoa, hey.
I hope you didn't allow that to happen.
Yeah, you step in.
I thought it was, I was so excited too.
Oh, come on. That's a little too far. Now you've gone too far on this. I mean, and the point I made earlier in the show about confliction in these international tournaments is if Trey Turner would have hit a home run off of a Met. Like, that is confliction. It doesn't mean you're not overall rooting for Team USA.
Right.
But those moments where an arch rival is facing one of your guys, I think if we're all being honest with ourselves, it does cause that moment of reflection. Like, well, I don't know if I feel this way. Rose in Queens. Hello, Rose.
Evan?
Yes.
I have a word to pick with you. I do not like the way that you constantly pick on Sean and yell at him.
When do I pick on him? He is my dear friend, Sean Morash. When have I picked on him?
All the time. You just yelled at him 2 minutes ago.
About
you
what?
said, what are you, not here? I don't know, something about Michelle Obama. I wasn't. But you pick on him all the time. You yell at him. You tell him he's wrong. You're like, what are you, a moron?
I'm a fat moron.
That's right to his opinion.
You know
just
what, Rose?
like you do.
I'm going to be very reflective about this because I don't think I do it. But if you're telling me I do it and Sean agrees that I do it, then I'm going to have to think long and hard about changing my ways. Sean, do you believe I'm mean to you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, if we're being honest, the name of the game, actually, we should just rename the show, Evan Tells You Why You're Wrong.
He's fat!
And I think it's 4 hours of you telling me why I'm wrong, and then Tiki parachutes in with really good opinions that get clouded because you just keep yelling at me that I'm wrong.
No, usually he jumps in to back me up.
Yes.
Well, wait, he's,
I
again.
mean, yesterday I did.
He did.
Or yesterday was the day.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday I did.
But I do feel like Tiki sometimes will wake up and go, all right, which one of these lunatics do I have to back today? And then you just yell at me that I'm wrong for 4 hours.
I don't think I yell at you. Maybe I lecture you.
Yeah, you're wrong. They're not going to have a salary cap. No, you're wrong. This is why, you can't root for USA. You're wrong.
You're doing an imitation of yourself right
No,
now.
I'm doing an imitation of you.
My apologies. My New Year's resolution.
You're wrong. The Yankees weren't going to sign him anyway.
Right.
My New Year's resolution is to not, what is it, yell at you or the words I use?
I think
Which
it's
one
more
is it?
it's your condescending tone.
Yeah, I don't think it's yelling. I think I'm condescending to you.
Yes.
The item on your body you didn't use with Michelle in your dream, you use on me to urinate often.
What? I mean that.
Let's get back to the
Sean
phones.
is so obsessed with the fact that you woke up before you hooked up with Michelle
I
Obama.
was never going to hook up with Michelle Obama.
Dude, it's not real cheating. You got clearance from Barack Obama in a dream.
It's
to
cheating.
sleep
I'm
with his
married.
wife.
What about myself? It's cheating in that regard.
It's not. You're in a dream, and the former president said, here's the former first lady. Do what you want with her, and you woke up. If Bill came to me with Hillary now, I could assure you I'm sleeping past my alarm.
I mean,
it's the first lady.
So
that's the respect, Sean.
That's the angry reaction.
I would have rather you not told me the dream. I'm insulted by you.
The point of the dream wasn't that Barack said that to me. It was about the back issues.
Yes.
It was that I met a president and
But
his
nobody
wife
cares.
was.
Nobody cares about the back issues. You wake up with a story, guys. I slept with Michelle Obama in my dreams. It's the lead.
But I didn't sleep with her.
But that's the issue.
That's the point. That's Sean's point.
Okay, in fairness, I wasn't going to, but let's just say the dream continued.
Well, how do you know you weren't going to go? You weren't going to?
Because I'm married and I'm not interested.
It's
I
you
have great
and a
respect
dream.
for her,
But you could have a different life.
in this dream, I existed where I was like, I'm not doing that.
I don't know. You didn't.
And it wasn't a knock on her. It was just I wasn't going to do it.
Your dreams are like living the real life Severance. You take advantage.
All right.
You insulted mankind today.
Well, I apologize for being mean to you. That was the whole point of this. I don't know why it's turning around on me.
Right. It's because she brought up Michelle Obama again.
Yeah, she's.
I can't let it go.
Well, Sean, I apologize. I'm going to try to be nicer to you.
Thank you.
But if you give dumb opinions, what am I supposed to do?
Your opinions suck half the time, too.
Do they?
Sometimes.
You know
we
what?
all have crappy opinions.
I have a new game, okay? Brand new game.
Mm-hmm.
So we created a segment last week called Are You Kidding Me?
Yes.
It was all these really bad opinions that our fellow hosts had. Craig had a dumb opinion. Keith had a dumb opinion. Tommy had a dumb opinion. Sean had a dumb opinion. And we voted on which one was the dumbest, okay? So far, it's Thursday. I have not registered yet a dumb opinion from our FAN coworker.
Yeah, I agree.
Not from FAN, for sure.
From FAN. It's been a very clean week.
Yeah.
I'm never going to force it and force an opinion on that. Like, that segment just won't happen this week.
Right.
In fact, you have that theme song loaded up? We should play that.
I can get it to you real quickly.
In the meantime.
Right, because we were supposed to play it yesterday.
Yes.
We never did.
I totally forgot. In the meantime, if there's a week in which there are no dumb opinions, I think on Friday at the end of the show, you decide between Sean and I, since people view this show as two children around the intelligent Tiki Barber, Daddy Tiki awards the person who was the most sane this week. Was it Evan? Right. Was it Sean?
You can spin off Tommy's new segment.
What? I don't know Tommy's
You're
new segment.
you're copying Tommy's new segment.
What is
Tommy's
Tommy's
new segment is STD.
No,
What?
it's not.
Settle the debate.
Well, that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
You're settling the debate.
There's
The
no
debate of
debate.
me and
There's
you
no
all week.
debate. It's just him deciding who was an idiot this week.
Yes.
That's it.
We'll settle the debate. Who was the idiot?
Okay. So do you want us not to do it? Because
It's
I don't want to rip
it's like
Tommy
that
off.
show. Whose line is it anyways?
Yes.
You guys talk, you talk, and I decide who wins. You get 4 points, you get 3, you win.
All right, I'm willing to do that.
I think it's as simple as that. Anyhow, I mentioned to you that last week we debuted Are You Kidding Me?, which was just a segment again and going through all the dumb opinions here at WFAN. One of our loyal listeners wrote and produced a theme song. Tiki hasn't heard it yet. I'm curious if you want this to be a permanent theme song. If not, we'll just say thank you, great effort, but no gracias.
Right.
Here it is, a potential theme song to a segment we like to call Are You Kidding Me?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? These whack takes that you spitting me, the epitome of pure stupidity. Better be going for last. Takes like that, I just gotta ask, yo. Are you kidding me?
I like it in principle. It's clunky though.
Clunky?
Yeah.
Well,
There's a couple of clunky moments.
Gotcha.
And we can clean it up though.
Clean it up.
I like the vibe though.
You like the idea, like a hard rock, quick vibe?
Yeah, the vibe and direction is there, but to this point, it's a little garage bandish. It needs a little organization.
Right.
All right.
Needs to flow smoother.
All right. He will be
like
listening.
He's done it 1,000 times.
I got you.
Or 10,000 times.
I got you. All right, good job. We appreciate that. Let's go to Bob and Merrick. Hey, Bob.
Hey, guys. Enjoy your show. Tiki, I always loved watching you play. Just a comment. A number of years ago, Bill Madden, the great writer of the news, wrote an article about the salary cap and about the incredible hypocrisy of the owners and said they don't want a salary cap because they don't want to put in a floor. They want Georgia's money. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, all these they want Georgia's money to do what they want with it. And then they don't want to put in a floor. So I don't believe there's going to be a lockout. The money, the industry is just totally awash in cash. They give $765 million to a good, not a great player like Soto. And as Kurt Flood always said, the money is there. And I don't believe there's going to be a lockout. And you guys should read a book called It's a Whole New Ball Game by Marvin Miller and see how these players and these were treated before.
Oh, it was terrible. And that's why Marvin Miller and Kurt Flood, they did a lot in changing that. The one thing I push back on, and I guess I'll give the owners a little credit to show you I am sort of fair, is that Rob Manfred, and I'll have to fact check this if this is true, but I get the belief or the impression that there would be a salary floor, that a cap would not come out with a floor. So if your point is there'll never be a floor, I disagree. Now, the question is, and this is the part that never gets talked about, is what's the floor?
Right.
Is the floor $50 million? Is the floor $150 million? Is the floor $250 million? That makes a huge difference because as of right now, you've got teams that are in the high 80s and low 90s. You've got teams in the low 100s. So what I asked earlier to Evan Drellick, and if you missed the interview, you could rewind to 12 o'clock, or you can go on YouTube, rewind to 12 o'clock, same thing, is where's that money coming from? Like if these teams, these small market teams can't even get a payroll above 90,
right?
All of a sudden there's going to be a floor of 200? But I don't know. I don't know if that's what the owners would even propose. Would the floor be that high?
Or could they spend that much money?
Well, you're being forced to.
Yeah, but how?
By giving.
What if your roster doesn't demand it?
By giving the lower end players more money on short-term deals. That's how you would that's how like the Brooklyn Nets would get to the salary floor.
Yeah.
Is big short-term deals just to fulfill it. Because if you don't, there's a harsh penalty.
Yeah, but then you're overpaying guys who haven't earned it.
And that's kind of what's going on here.
Yeah.
A cap brings down the top players,
right,
but brings up the bottom players. And even though the bottom player is still 90% of the league, who has the power in the Players Association?
The top players.
Exactly.
Right. So they're the leads. They're the heads.
Right. So it's one of those things where we don't know the specifics, but I'm very skeptical of the specifics.
Yeah.
Like, is this salary floor really going to allow the Marlins to have a $200 million payroll? All I know is we're going to get a work stoppage, and nothing's going to change. And that's the part that's kind of disgusting. But the good news is we have a baseball season this year. The good news is the NBA is back. The Brooklyn Nets are going to try to put up some more L's because they need them.
Slag nut Nets.
But more important than that, the New York Knicks are set to take on the Detroit Pistons. We'll give you our thoughts tomorrow when we're back on the air at 10 a.m. Again, if you missed any of the show, you can rewind it on the free Odyssey app or download the Evan and Tiki podcast. The Carton Show with Craig Carton and Big Mac Chris McMonigal. They're next. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
This is an Odyssey Sports